So finally, the conspiracy theorists are proven to be right. How about that? I don't seem like the crazy guy that's just like trying to point stuff out, saying, hey, guys, there's some weird satanic pedophilia stuff going on around the world, and it's including all of the international investment firms and stuff. Nobody else gonna say anything but me? Nobody else gonna look at this stuff? Oh man, this is gonna be a long night. So I'm just gonna go ahead and prepare my tobacco pipe before we get started. Because I got some clips. I got a whole lot of them. Let's see about how much I'm gonna need. That'll do it. Probably won't need that much. That's a lot. Alright, YouTube. You need to get your shit together. All the other platforms are doing great. It just seems that YouTube is the one not doing so great. I need to fix my Odyssey chat too. I just started streaming to Odyssey. I've been posting to Odyssey. So if you're watching from Odyssey, sorry, you won't be able to chat with me tonight. Instagram's absolutely blowing up for me today, though. I'm about to have a video hit 1 million views, and I'm about to hit 1,000 followers, and I started the day with like 90. I've been posting to Instagram for a while. It's crazy how that happens just randomly. I don't know how to get monetized on Instagram. I want that to be a thing. That'd be cool. Hopefully TikTok gets all its shit figured out. I'll start posting there too. Apparently LinkedIn is a place that I need to be posting. I'm gonna be posting everywhere, man. Might as well. I got the time. Especially right now. During the winter on the farm, there ain't much to do. Alright. So I'm gonna browse X first, see what's been going on in the news today. And then I'm gonna take a look at some clips that I got lined up. And then we're gonna see what we got on the YouTubes. Basically gonna go through the same motions that I usually do. Yep, and there's the typical chat that I have to delete. Because they're trying to promote something, and I ain't buying. Would you like some view bots? You can buy some view bots here. No. No thanks. Don't need it. I like organic growth. I want to see how far I can go without manipulating anything. Which is until death. Or everything explodes or something. Alright. I think it's time. Wait. Oh, there we go. X. Uh-oh. Rumble? Beating YouTube? Holy shit. Loves me some Rumble. YouTube's been absolutely shitting the bed recently. We need new conspiracy theories. Who's working on that? True. What we got? Notifications. deep state may have staged Jeffrey Epstein's death.
In the DOJ Epstein files, he is known to have a tattoo. This body right here that just came out, the new pre-autopsy photos.
Yeah, scroll up.
The tattoo is fake. He just put it on every morning.
In the
See
hospital.
the arm.
He has no tattoo on his arm. Thomas Massey did a little poll. Most people say he is still alive. So majority of people believe Epstein is still alive.
Yeah, I think so.
There's someone that looks like him on the island in 2023. Who the hell is that? And what's he doing on the island? Why is he looking?
Yeah, I saw that. I think Luke Rudkowski pointed that out.
Looks so similar to Jeffrey Epstein.
The same clothing, same.
That looks like something he'd wear. Looks like he's giving that guy orders on what to do on the island too. He's pointing at him, telling him where to go and work. And so, I mean,
you guys pull up the ears. We showed it last hour.
Yeah, he's alive.
The side-by-side ears, who then match somebody else that just died right before he died.
So, Tony Rodham, Hillary Clinton's brother, died in June. So that's what, 2 months before? They could have cryogenically froze him, maybe even just kept his body fine in a regular freezer. I'm not sure. I'm not too well versed on how quick a body can decompose when it's in a freezer, but man, that nose sure looks like his nose, doesn't it?
The coroner said that Epstein's
What the fuck, dude?
throat was bones in his
Dude,
neck.
I mean, dude, tonight's gonna go insane.
Places, which is totally indicative. And the top corner in America, pathologists also reviewed it for the family and said his neck was broken in 3 spots. The man on the stretcher, to me, did not look like Epstein. And now they even let the public see that. Normally when you're dead, the drapes over you.
Yeah, because they don't give a fuck. They know that it's just going to create chaos and nothing's going to be done about it.
The ears are different, a lot of stuff. But hiding in plain view, there's no barbed wire tattoo on the arm that's visible, and that's the arm that he had a tattoo on in all his photos in the DOJ file. And now we found someone that died right before that looks just like Epstein, that they believe they switched the body out. You even got Congress looking at this now. So he could still be alive, folks. This is unraveling so fast.
We're going to have to go look for this guy. That's fucked up. I didn't mean to see that.
That is Hillary's brother.
Oh, man. Hang on. I don't want to keep that up on screen, but I want to take a look at that. Let's pull that back. Oh, dude. I've been watching a lot of Epstein videos. I don't think this is Epstein. That's really, really, really weird. Really suspicious. Okay, let's pull that back up.
God, that is Hillary's brother.
I know this is a little bit off topic, but I just wanted to bring up that I never thought he killed himself or died in general since the first broke. I immediately thought that they broke him out of prison and
Well, let's stop there.
Well, I didn't know what to think, so I just didn't come to a conclusion.
Off topic. That's a huge stack. Let's go to that now.
Which is not what they want.
Looking at this.
The Satanists don't want that. They don't want you to not come to a conclusion. They want you to come to a conclusion and it be the wrong conclusion.
This is coming out. Let's get the document cam over here, please. Pull up the HD shots in there for everybody. And let's start talking about this. And let's pull out a little bit there. There we go. That's nice. That's off our printer, but let's pull up the HD of all this. He has this tattoo here, but when he's dead outside the federal facility 5 years ago in D.C. or in New York, we don't see the tattoo. And
it should be there.
We have somebody that looks just like him that's related to Hillary Rodham Clinton, who died right before this, who matches with the ears, the rest of it. Let's go over it now.
So in the DOJ Epstein files, he is known to have a tattoo. This body right here that just came out, the new pre-autopsy photos.
Yeah, scroll
This
up,
is him
guys,
in
so
the
I can see the
hospital.
arm.
He has no tattoo on his arm, and I don't see a scar there that shows that it was removed. And his face, I mean, I know he allegedly hung
What was
himself.
this?
That doesn't look like his body. Unless his body is like super swelled up or like right before he got super fat or something.
Start
Yes.
over. You never believed it from the start. You can see the garrote line there. But again, that's the same
Yeah,
arm.
look how slim he is. And look at how
And you
fat.
do not see the tattoo. And we have more photos. We have photos of him being brought outside where they didn't put a sheet over him when he's dead. They don't normally do that. And that
Unless he just swelled up that much.
photo. So to walk through this, what people are saying is that he's alive.
Yes. So Thomas Massey is on it. He says, here's a pic of his tattoo in the Epstein files, replying to Patrick Byrne, who Patrick Byrne called this out. Thomas Massey did a little poll. Most people say he is still alive. So majority of people believe Epstein is still alive. It's not that someone else killed him or did he kill himself. No, he didn't die. There's video of someone that looks like him with the drone.
I wonder what Polymarket says. I'm gonna look
that
it
was
up.
flown over his island in 2023, and there's a man that looks just like him hopping out of a ATV and looks like he's still alive and is back on his island. So who knows where he is right now, but I don't think he's dead.
But
And
regardless, he had this tattoo and all these photos and stuff on record. He doesn't. When he's brought out of the ambulance, supposedly killed himself in the federal facility. And in these other photos, he doesn't have the tattoo.
and his earlobe is different. The whole design of his ear does not match up at all from the dead
And we
body.
got side by sides of those we can show.
And so
I don't know about it, guys. I don't know. Polymarket says there's a 4% chance. I think maybe if you bought right now, you'd make money. 4% chance he's still alive. I think everybody should run up on this. I might even do it. Shit, I got $20.
there's someone that looks like him on the island in 2023. Who the hell's that? And what's he doing on the island? And why does he look so similar to Jeffrey Epstein?
And the same clothing, same.
That looks like something he'd wear.
Surprisingly, the only direct evidence of Epstein committing any crimes is that he confessed. Dude. And that, we got a lot of weird evidence of weird stuff happening.
Looks like he's giving that guy orders on what to do on the island too. He's pointing at him, telling him where to go and work. And
We've got evidence. We got plenty of evidence. There's just no underlying proof that we've found.
so, I mean, are
You
we?
guys pull up the ears. We showed it last hour. The side by side ears, who then match somebody else that just died right before he died.
So, Tony Rodham, Hillary Clinton's brother, died in June. So that's what, 2 months before? They could have cryogenically froze him, maybe even just kept his body fine in a regular freezer. I'm not sure. I'm not too well versed on how quick a body can decompose when it's in a freezer, but man, that nose sure looks like his nose, doesn't it?
It does.
Look at that ear.
It does. It definitely does. Oh boy, yeah, look at the ear. See how it doesn't connect right here?
And we're supposed to believe that he's dead. I mean, this is insane. And
And
obviously,
there's other shots with supposedly Epstein on the stretcher next to other. And if you look, yeah,
they say never let a good crisis go to waste. So, you know, her brother's dead. Oh, well, I got an idea. He looks a little bit like Jeffy. We'll
and we
put
know
him
the
on ice.
CIA's experts
That's fucked up if they did that. I don't know.
fake mask, also plastic surgery. But you look at the ear of Hillary Clinton's brother, it's the same ear. You pull that up, it's uncanny. Wow.
So I think we really got something here, and Thomas Massey's calling
Definitely
out,
look into
Patrick
it.
Byrne is calling out. I'm glad finally people are getting over the who killed Epstein. It's now Epstein is alive. Where is he?
You've always thought that.
I always thought that since day one. I said there is.
By the way, let's get Patrick Byrne on tomorrow. And it's not just my show. Let's get him on the War Room. He comes on all the shows. Let's get him on with
That's fucking insane.
the morning show, Brianna. Let's get him on tomorrow.
Why would they kill him when they could do this? He's too valuable to everyone. He has too many.
Oh, if it comes out that it's true, dude, they're even more fucked. They have their backs against the wall. What's going to happen here when all of the Satanists get exposed?
His hands in too many
Dude,
things. He's
And that's
It's
why
gonna
all the
be so
cameras are
crazy.
turned off,
yes.
There's going to be war.
and it's a national security
So-
issue.
I believe he's in witness protection, and if he's involved in multiple intelligence agencies,
We know that.
he's being protected still to this day, and he's sitting back laughing at this whole situation.
We said
And I think I know who's protecting him. Probably the same people who he was directly involved with their money. And it's probably the Rothschilds, honestly.
the best supplements, the widest selection of Patriot.
Yeah. Okay. Dan Bongino sends a deadly, serious warning to all parents after leaving the FBI.
I want you to pay very close attention to these three numbers. 764. There is a network of people out there. This is what they call the 764 network inside the FBI. And folks, if you haven't heard about them, look them up. It's important
I'm about
because
to.
it involves the safety of our kids. But second, it involves another critical issue, which is surveillance and civil liberties. They're interconnected on this. This is a warning for parents. This group is disgusting. It is horrifying, the stuff they do. Matter of fact, we would get briefings in FBI headquarters, and our VCAC personnel, violent crimes against children, they would come in and they would brief us. And there's a big video screen in the conference room, like something you'd see like in a Netflix show. You know, it screens, because one of these videos played one time of what these 764 people are sending to your kids in chat rooms and elsewhere. Folks, you can't unsee it. It is the most freaking horrifying
What the
thing. I'm not even
fuck?
going to, like, animal torture. I promise I'm not going to describe it because you'll throw up. And one time one of these videos played, once that tortures your brain and tattoos in your skull, I don't know how these guys do it. What this network does is they find and hunt down your kids in these chat rooms for these online games and chat rooms elsewhere. Folks, you have to monitor this stuff. It is not a small network of people. It is an enormous group of people looking to do horrible things to your kids. They get your kids to cut themselves. They get the kids to get involved
What
in
have I been
sexual
saying, man?
abuse, and it's self-mutilation. Every single demonic thing you can think encompasses this 764 network.
It's not just one group at the top. There's so many other groups out there that are just like doing their own thing. They're rogue. Absolutely insane. So I'm looking this up right now. Let's go over to YouTube and look this up, because I'm sure nothing weird's going to show up from YouTube. 764. Let's pick one, I guess. CBS News sounds good.
Welcome back. On Capitol Hill today, Senate committee hears from experts who warn predators are targeting and manipulating young people online. A growing number of reports point to a virtual network of abusers known as 764 who coerce young victims into harming themselves or others. Now, lawmakers have introduced legislation that would make it a federal crime to coerce children into physically harming themselves or others. But in a hearing yesterday, Senator Lindsey Graham said the country has done very little to protect children so far.
Do you all agree that we've
done very little to protect anybody so far, except for criminals?
as a nation miserably failed our children, that we have hearings and we talk and we've done very little to protect them as of this date?
Yes.
Yes.
That's a damning indictment of all of us.
Now, the Senate committee also heard from a mother who testified her son James took his own life after becoming the victim of sextortion online. Tamia Wood says she hopes the legislation would encourage young people to speak up, knowing that
Don't let your kids online, dude.
the law is on their side.
My advice that I would give to parents is to talk to your children about sextortion and any other child exploitation. I don't care what it is. You speak up, you say something, you stand up for yourself, because we can make sure that we have your back no matter what. I would give anything to have my son back. And if they have to learn, if they have to see James' face, if they have to see my tears, I'm going to make sure that it happens if it means that I can save your grandchildren.
Let's bring in CBS News senior coordinating producer Anna Schechter. Anna, the Justice Department calls 764, quote, one of the most heinous online child exploitation enterprises.
I think we're going to have to do a deeper dive on this.
Officials have ever seen. Tell us what we know about this online network. I think a lot of parents watching this right now have a pit in their stomach right now hearing about this.
It's true. It is the latest trend of child exploitation online, but probably the most horrific that we've
I haven't heard of this until Dan Bongino dropped it.
ever seen. 764 actually is a shorthand for a zip code of a teenager who started this a few years ago. But that might sound innocuous, but what it is it's this loosely connected community of people on various platforms. They lure young people from Discord or Telegram or even Roblox, bring them into online spaces that glorify violence, mass shootings, gore. There are videos of people who get shot and who are...
I could imagine. When I was like 12, 14 years old, I was on 4chan, and that shit was like that on 4chan back then, kind of. Not as bad as what kids are getting into today. What the fuck, man? I couldn't imagine just being able to use a phone at any time. I was having to sneak it in a little box in the living room on a computer. If anybody happened to walk by, it was just this little box on the screen. I can get rid of that easily, and they couldn't see what was on the screen because you'd have to look real close, and I lived with old people, so they couldn't see it anyway.
Are dying, and it desensitizes these young people and then glorifies that act and gets them to actually harm themselves or others. It's just tragic, and the FBI is taking this very seriously. They're actually deploying counterterrorism agents to try to get a handle on this, because it is a global...
Or, just shut down the services that are causing all of this, because it's gotten to the point where I just don't give a fuck. Burn it all down. Shut it the fuck down.
Phenomenon
It's not worth keeping if it's just going to be used like this.
That we are seeing, and it's playing out in so many communities.
And it's like one thing if it just happened, oh shit, we just discovered that children are being exploited on our platform. But this shit is the same platforms for years and years and years, and it's only gotten worse. So what else do we do about it?
Around the country, and one case is just one case, but what I've seen as I've been tracking some of these mass shootings, including at a religious school in Minnesota recently, where nihilism was behind it. It's sort of this despair, but a glorification of violence, and this idea that taking somebody's life or taking your own life is celebrated. And that's what we're seeing, Liz.
It is atrocious to hear this, Anna. And at the hearing, senators heard from the executive director at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and she called the growing threats egregious. I want to listen to this sound for a minute.
The second trend NCMEC has identified in the past year is sadistic online exploitation. This trend has led to the most egregious exploitation that NCMEC has ever seen. Violent online offenders work in groups, targeting and manipulating vulnerable children, some as young as 12 years old.
Anna, how is this
Younger than that.
exploitation evolving? And what do parents need to know in order to try to protect their children?
Well, so many
Don't let them play online games where you don't know what the fuck they're playing.
kids, when they reach the age of 12, they might get a device. They might even need an iPad to do some of their schoolwork. And when their
No, they don't.
the doors are
No, they don't. If the school requires it, tell them to fuck off.
closed, the YouTube or gaming platforms, maybe they're playing video games, there are predators there that will get them to leave that gaming platform and go onto a different website where uploaded are these images of...
Yeah, at this point, it's not just the fault of the parents. I used to blame it on the parents. You got to shut these fucking platforms down if they're not going to do something about it for real. And, you know, right after a bunch of this shit was coming out about Roblox to the masses, because people like me, we already knew about it. Then they were like, we're releasing a dating platform on Roblox for 17 and up. Okay, yeah, nice. Telling us what you're all about immediately. These evil fucking freaks. Shut down their satanic platform. I don't get it. I don't get why we're allowing it.
Gore, and maybe they'll get them to
And it's not just Roblox.
Send a photo of themselves, some kind of extortion, as she was just saying. And it's this manipulation that can happen so quickly, and it can really fall off a cliff really quickly, but it can start in a gaming platform. So you might think your child is playing video games on Roblox, which should be safe, but it can evolve. You can go over to YouTube, watch an online video of how you can access this community, then get into a Telegram chat, then get onto sort of a dark web platform where this activity is happening. And it's so hard for law enforcement to tackle it because it's a game of whack-a-mole. Once one person is found out, you know, somebody else picks it up, or even one platform is shut down. And then there are also First Amendment questions, and that's what we're seeing.
We haven't shut down Roblox yet.
These lawmakers step up and say, wait a minute, we have got to put on the books a law that criminalizes this activity.
And it's one thing to tell
It
parents
already
about
is.
it, to educate.
It already is criminal. What do you mean? Well, we got to make it criminal again? That's not going to help things, just to be like, we said to stop, so we're going to say double stop now.
Kids, but what about these different sites? Shouldn't they bear any kind of responsibility for what's happening on their platforms?
I ask this all the time, and the platforms tell me that when they identify harmful content, they take it down. But that doesn't mean that a young person
Where have we
has
heard this
already
before?
accessed it. So you have the YouTubes of the world that...
Didn't we hear that already a long time ago with that guy that dropped a video about Roblox? He's like, well, we take it down when we find it. That's not fucking good enough.
I would say they do address it when they see it. That's the operative word. But then there are these other websites that I'm not going to say on here because I don't want to have people
I've
go
got some
to them,
bad news for
and give
everybody.
them
The people who run Roblox are part of the pedophile elite.
sort of the URL to get
Sure.
there. And there are First Amendment rights, First Amendment protections. There's Section 230 protections. So it's much trickier for law enforcement than you would think. As a parent, lots of people think they should just shut this down, but it's harder than just saying that, Liz.
No, it's not.
All right, Anna Schechter, thank you so much. Really important.
It's not harder than just saying that. Shut it down. Don't shut down every platform that's like that. Just shut down Roblox, because it's been years and years and it's only getting worse. And they've been doing weird shit. And it's obviously weird if you're paying attention. It's obviously weird. They are pedophiles. I don't think they realize there are people who pay attention to everything, because they're just living moment by moment, day by day. So let's look more into this 764. This one pops up from 2 days ago, Danielle. Sure. Content warning. The worst of humanity.
Hello, my fellow concerned friends, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on my video today. I want to give a very clear and precise trigger warning on today's video regarding the topic of the 764 cult. So trigger warnings for discussions of coercion, blackmail, manipulation, extortion, child abuse, animal abuse, murder, and I could keep going. Please take these trigger warnings seriously, but if you are a parent, I would encourage you to stick around. If you are a parent with children who are old enough to be online, if you are a parent with a child online, you do need to hear this. But if this will be too triggering for your mental health otherwise, please click off of this video. This may be one of the most important videos that I make for parents on my channel yet, because this is something that is being actively investigated by the FBI. This is something that is actively taking the lives of children, and this is very, very serious. This might be one of the darkest things that I have ever seen on the internet. So please take the trigger warnings seriously. And without further ado, let me unfortunately tell you what is going on with the cult 764.
The FBI is warning about a criminal network targeting children. FBI officials say predators are befriending teenagers online, then coercing them into sexual and violent behavior, including self-harm and even suicide.
Parents are speaking out and...
Is this a 4chan situation? Is this a hacker known as 4chan situation? That's kind of what it seems like to me. Because if you're part of the 764 cult, why would you let that be known? I think they're just putting a label on a bunch of people that exploit children. And maybe some people identify with it, I don't know. But like, this is not a new thing.
Describing how their teens have fallen victim to an online terror network known as 764. That group targets children for violence.
764 group is a Satanist cult.
Okay, never mind. Yep, he's pretty smart. Yeah, I think he's right.
That focuses on extreme violence.
Well, I'm gonna have to look his version up here in a minute.
The main things that they focus on is extortion towards children. They believe that nothing matters. They extort children into cutting their wrists, engraving their names into their chests, their legs. They've had children commit suicide live on camera in front of audiences of people while they get cheered on.
I first heard about 764 when I was scrolling on TikTok, and I saw a video of a woman sharing her experience where her brother ended up taking his own life due to the blackmail from this cult.
My little brother was groomed into a satanic cult called the 764. This is my brother. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us because...
I can see how that could happen. I knew some friends that got into some Satanism back in the day, but it was like not real. They just pretended to do rituals. But that shit is more real than you'd think.
He has taken his life. This group preys on anyone with mental illness, anybody that is lonely. They will go on mental health platforms to recruit people. They will pretend to be your friend. They will pretend to relate to you. The first sign, I just want to talk about the signs so you can be aware of them, because I was not aware of any of this until after he passed. He became very interested in mental health, and he was kind of self-diagnosing himself. He thought
That's usually how it goes when you get into the mental health stuff. Then, yeah, start self-diagnosing, and then you start using that language, and it breaks your brain.
Split personality, or BPD, and then he had an online girlfriend, and how all of this transpired was she talked to him for I don't know how many months, said that she was a certain age, and then told him that she was underage. So they had that blackmail on him. That is how, at least I believe, my brother got groomed into this group. And they basically will tell you that they'll call the cops on you and give them the information they have unless you do either a self-harm video, harm an animal. You have to give them your address and possibly your family's address, threatening your family to off your family.
Why?
This group is very, very dark. It's satanic. They do rituals.
Yeah, CBS didn't tell me none of that shit.
They worship Satan. The videos on the Sean Ryan podcast, you can hear some of the videos that they play, and the people on the live stream,
Well, I'm gonna have to watch
watching
that.
someone take their life, they're laughing. They make you do these things for their own entertainment. This is extremely real. Everybody is susceptible to this, especially in this day and age. Everyone is struggling with mental health right now. And
I'm not. I'm doing pretty good.
to groom people off of mental health platforms or any platform, it doesn't matter, TikTok, Instagram, someone pretends to be your friend and you're lonely and you want someone to relate to. It's sick. It's sick, and it needs to be, this information needs to be spread because the cops already know about it and they're not going to do anything about it. Surprise. So I'm going to keep making these videos until this knowledge is spread to everyone. It's dark. Nobody wants to think about it because this is something that you don't think is real until it's in your reality. And this is very real to me. And I lost my brother.
I've been paying attention to this kind of shit for years, and finally people are starting to get on board with it.
Because of a sick group that exploited him. So yeah, please share this. Please, anybody with as young as 7 years old, even adults that have mental health issues, anybody is susceptible to being lured in to this group. So please share this.
My brother was targeted by this group, 764. He was coerced, harassed, and publicly humiliated. It was live streamed, recorded, laughed at.
Live streamed where? What platform was allowing this? Because it seems like a lot of platforms, it'd be cut out immediately.
And shared like entertainment.
So like party.com.
The Wildwood, Florida police knew of all of this and didn't further investigate.
How about that?
They actually told us to just drop it and nothing would come of it. We even reached out to multiple lawyers, to which every single one dismissed us. And then a few years later in 2020.
That's because you're trying to hit up the Satanists to take out the Satanists. They're not going to do that.
We had a journalist from the Washington Post reach out to us. They were doing an investigative article on this group, 764. And we had high hopes. Maybe my brother would get justice. Maybe his story would be heard. But in the end, his name was only mentioned once in the whole article. My brother lost his life because of all of this. And nothing has come of it. Every time we try to get justice, we're just beaten down and dismissed. Every family that this has affected deserves justice. We will not stop. So please share this so other family members can come together.
Oh, it's getting shared.
And get the justice we deserve, because something needs to be done.
As I said, the themes in today's video are extremely, extremely distressing, especially because they are ongoing. They are happening right now. It's not even like this.
I think at this point I'm desensitized to this kind of shit. I just want something to be done. Man, I've been talking about this shit for years at this point. Nothing. It just keeps getting worse.
This did happen, and we're in a grieving period of shock that this happened in our world. This is happening right now. And alongside what is going on in our government with certain files that have been released, it is so scary that it kind of feels like we are the minority. It genuinely is feeling like we are the minority, and I know that we're not,
my world.
but we are not. And we will...
No, I actually think that we are. I actually think when it comes to the majority of the world, I think the majority is evil. In different ways. Not everybody drinking baby's blood and cutting feet off of children. But people are doing all kinds of different shit. There are people that are doing like fire rituals and like having orgies and shit, and that's all that they do, but that's still some evil shit.
not back down to this disgusting evil. But who is 764? 764 is not one
That's
person,
what I wanna
although
know,
it
yeah.
was started by one person, Bradley Cadenhead, who was 15 at the time of starting 764 in 2021.
How'd that happen?
764 is an online community of people who share an enjoyment of watching people suffer and ultimately taking their own lives. Bradley started 764 out of losing
Dude, that sounds like an early 2000s horror movie.
interest in a Discord group that he was already involved with. The Discord group Cult.
I think there is a horror movie that was like this, where it was like an online cult that kills people through live streams. Or it wasn't live streams, it was like calls, like Skype.
CVLT. He felt like he had learned enough through that Discord server as far as manipulation, grooming, and extorting tactics go, so he wanted to take it a step further and create his own group, 764. And if you're wondering why 764, it's because that was the first 3 digits of his area code. After creating this group on Discord, he had to recruit members now. He had to recruit people who were also like-minded and had the same disgusting desires that he did, which was for violence, cruelty, harm, to see people scared and suffering. And he did this by targeting children on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Minecraft, Roblox, anywhere that a child might be. He would go out of his way, target them, and recruit them to come to his Discord, where they would be met with violence, gore, as well as child abuse material of victim ages ranging from 9 to 17 years old. Now, Bradley Cadenhead was arrested in August of
Man, my nephew is 9. I couldn't fucking imagine.
2021 and sentenced to 80 years in prison. But 764 did not end with Bradley. It continued and continues to this day, because unfortunately, Bradley Cadenhead is not the only person who finds pleasure in this kind of torment.
No shit.
My name is Ryan Maxwell. I am an assistant.
We used to hear about this kind of shit when I was a kid happening on the dark web.
Special agent
Now
in
it's just like
charge
out in the
of
open.
The FBI Chicago field office. I lead our counterterrorism program. Today, I want to provide the Chicago community with information related to the group known as 764, a gore group that FBI Chicago is aggressively working. 764 is a violent online group made up of individuals who seek to coerce and manipulate children into engaging in unspeakable acts against themselves, animals, and other children, even suicide. In attempting to achieve 764's goal of destroying society, they typically exploit minors ranging from the ages of 10 to 17.
There's just Satanism everywhere, man.
Members of 764 exist throughout the United States, as well as around the world. They operate on social media, gaming apps, and online platforms. They build trust with their victims and later coerce them into sharing personal information and explicit pictures and videos. 764 members then use these photos and videos.
Where are they doing this? They're telling us what they're doing, but they're not telling us where, like, and how.
To blackmail their victims into a cycle of escalating manipulation. We at FBI Chicago are here to help you with this very alarming and concerning trend. We are using all available resources.
FBI Chicago. Somehow I don't believe you. Somehow I think that you're a little bit involved in all the satanic cult shit.
And investigative avenues to bring these perpetrators to justice. Along with our federal, state, local, and international partners, we will hold these criminals accountable.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Parents, 764 is such a threat that the FBI has called it a terrorist organization. So now I think it's extremely important.
They also called Antifa a terrorist organization, and they're fucking everywhere.
That we discuss how these people even get a hold of your children. These people lurk on social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Reels, it doesn't matter. Minecraft, Roblox, Discord, Telegram, they lurk there.
This is why we're the masters. Because it takes the content creator to tell what the fuck is going on, where it is, what's happening, how they're doing it. Because I wasn't hearing that from the news or the FBI. I heard it from this random YouTube chick that I just found.
And they're looking for vulnerable children. Maybe a child that posts hashtag ED recovery, hashtag struggling with my mental health. Being vulnerable, putting themselves out there, these people will see that. They go out of their way to look for these hashtags, to look for these keywords, to find these children.
Oh, maybe we should start looking through those keywords and getting to the children before the Satanists do.
Trinity was a perfect target for 764. For their safety, we're not using their last names.
I met these people on accident. One of my friends was showing me these gore videos.
Yep, she looks like a friend that I would have in high school that would be totally susceptible to this kind of shit.
Discord invited me to one of them, and then I ended up like talking in those servers.
Those servers are private groups on platforms like Discord and Telegram.
She looks like my sister.
I saw lots of girls naked, covered in blood, lots of stunning girls. There was a video of a girl who hung herself on her closet. Lots of animals being tortured.
And they pose themselves as no threat. They have a cartoon profile picture. They seem cool. They have nothing creepy going on their profile, and all they are is commenting on your child's picture. Hey, I get it. I've been there too. My DMs are open if you want to discuss it. I understand how you're feeling, and you don't deserve to
Oh man, I don't talk in DMs. At least I try not to.
Feel alone. That is how it starts, innocent. And
yeah, I leave it on public facing. Like, the most private I'll get is maybe in a Discord chat, but it's got to be a public one. Like, my Discord chat is public. You can join it down there in the description.
And to a child, it seems like they might be getting their best friend walking right through the door. So then they end up DMing each other. And this 764 member develops in a relationship with this victim, making the victim think that it's a genuine relationship. Maybe it's just a really good friendship. Maybe the groomer is manipulating the victim into thinking that this is a romantic relationship, and they will get blackmail evidence on the victim. Maybe they will coerce the victim into sending naked photographs of themselves. And now they have it.
She wrote about how within weeks, at least a dozen 764 members around the world were exploiting her. She even outlined the cuts they forced her to make on her body.
I was forced to cut into my vagina. I didn't want to do that. I got threatened that they would send my photos to my school, my mom, my friends. They would tell everybody everything I've ever done, and like it was really like terrible blackmail.
And they will use that evidence against that victim to have that victim do more and more heinous things, and it only gets worse the higher
it always does.
That child becomes.
Yeah.
Because remember, like I said, this isn't adults running this. This is children.
I doubt it. No, I doubt it. I think there's probably behind the scenes some old fucking weird men who have some major satanic ties that are controlling all this, allowing it to go on, and like pointing people in the right direction. I don't think that it's 100% children.
There are adults involved.
Yeah.
But this is children going after children. This is children coercing children to harm themselves.
It's got to come from somewhere.
And notoriety in the group, because the worst thing you get somebody else to do, the more status you have in 764. So if you can get somebody to take their own life on a live stream with the other members, that buys you a lot of points. Now I will describe to you some of the things 764 has these victims do. And again, I want to reiterate a trigger warning to you that this is not easy to listen to, but this is real. This is not a creepypasta. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is not a rumor. This is a real thing that is really happening, and there is video evidence of this that I will not show. This is a very real thing that is happening and could
Yeah, I'm gonna get my video evidence from Sean Ryan podcast. That's as far as I'm going.
be happening to your own child. So please.
I've seen some shit before, and there ain't no going back from seeing shit like that. No, thank you. I will not be doing that again.
Pay attention. 764 members, as I already stated, will manipulate, coerce, and blackmail your child into sending new photographs of themselves. They then will take those photographs and use those photographs or videos as blackmail. They'll post them in the group, and now everybody has seen it. I have seen evidence of some members forcing a girl on the Discord live stream, FaceTime call,
Discord,
whatever.
huh? Oh.
Cutting off her hair. And now I want to pause because I already know I'm going to get people probably saying on this video, no one forced them to do anything. You can't make somebody do anything, especially behind a phone screen. You are wrong. Because if you were right, people would not.
Dude, I see the way my nephew acts whenever you get him on a phone or anything. No, that shit will fuck you up, dude. It will make you do shit that it takes you out of your mind.
Not have lost their lives over this if it was that easy. We will get into more detail about exactly how these people were able to have such control over them, even, yes, thousands of miles away, but I need you to keep those comments to yourself because you don't know what it is like. You don't know what it is like for somebody to have that sensitive information and content about you and have no idea what they might do with it and have no way to know, especially as a child, how to explain it if it gets out, how to defend yourself. What will happen to me? Will my whole life be ruined? So please keep those comments.
Ayo, T-Bone, we're looking over some crazy shit. 764 dropped by Dan Bongino, and I decided to look into it further.
To yourself. All right, now let's continue. But they are making her cut her hair. And as she is cutting her hair, she is sobbing. And mind you, again, I want to reiterate, these are kids. This is a child. She is cutting her hair off. She is sobbing. She is crying. This is traumatic for her. She's scared. All the while, the people that are watching are laughing in her face at her, mocking her. And they then go on.
Dude, that is worse than a fucking horror movie.
To tell her to eat her hair. And she does. She stuffs her hair in her mouth and she is hysterical. It is extremely disturbing. They will have their victims do something called signing.
I know what that is. We've been hearing about that for a long time.
For all of this was really triggering for me because I remember falling into really bad communities when I was in middle school and I was going through everything at home that I was going through. And I didn't know that it had a name, but I ended up being involved in something with someone somewhere. I can't really remember. It's super, super, super vague to me, but I do remember how my mom reacted. It was some sort of online community and I already felt terrible about myself, as you guys can probably guess why, if you are familiar with me and my story. And so this community just kind of made me feel good about feeling
Yeah, I was very rebellious. I was not susceptible to these communities at all. I found a few weird communities back in the day, and I was just, if I got in, I'd just, be like, you guys are a bunch of weirdo creep pedophiles. And I guess I was right most of the time.
Terrible about myself. And they encouraged
Bunch
me
of losers.
I'm sorry, this is really triggering, but to
Bro, I was fucking retarded when I was like 14.
Myself with the things that I didn't like about myself. So I remember one time I put the word fat whore into my leg, and I'll never forget when my mom saw it because I tried so hard to hide it.
Dude, I knew some girls that were fucking crazy enough to carve shit into themselves. There was a girl that I dated when I was maybe 16, and she carved her ex-boyfriend's name into her leg when I broke up with her. And I was like, what the fuck, bitch?
And I got in so much trouble. I remember she told me that I had no reason to be feeling like that, and that my life wasn't even bad, and that she was disgusted.
Yeah, and that's the wrong thing to do in that situation.
Because she had done all of those things, I guess, when she was a kid, and so she was valid in doing that. I wasn't. And that just made me feel even more isolated and alone, and just like, what is fundamentally like wrong with me? I feel like I don't fit in anywhere. My feelings don't belong anywhere as well. But that is what they would have their they do have their victims do. Is they will make their victims, they will groom, coerce them, blackmail their victims, whatever they have to do to get their victims to put words or symbols into their flesh. Be it their usernames, their handles, their actual names, the perpetrators' names, users, and handles. To even one girl having to carve a swastika in her own body.
A doctor said we have to call the police, and I told them everything that just happened.
You told them about 764?
Yeah, I told them everything. They had a female officer take photos of my body. I was covered head to toe in names, symbols. I had a swastika right in the middle of my chest.
Other things they do is pit siblings against each other.
Yeah, and they don't even know what the fuck is going on. They're already fucked up in the head, and then you get them to do all that shit.
They will make the older sibling who has access to the phone and is communicating with 764 and everything do things to their younger sibling, record it, post it as proof and evidence, even holding up signs that say blank made me do it, property of blank. And I'm talking little kids. Even siblings are not safe from this chaos and harm. There was even an incident, again, on a live recording FaceTime thing on Discord, where the leaders were
So it was on
instructing a child to bite the head off of her hamster. And if
like
she didn't
Ozzy
do
Osbourne.
it, there would be severe consequences.
That's fucked.
Including being swatted. Where they make a false
Man, I think that she probably should have just been swatted.
report that implies a level of such great violent danger at the place of residence that the SWAT team has to come in, guns blazing, if these people do not comply.
They don't do that.
And she did it. She bit.
Any kid, like, that thinks they're gonna get swatted, just let it happen, man. If they see that you're a kid, they change their tune very, like, immediately. Also, if you are not a retarded, ridiculous, violent person, get to know your local PD. That's what I do. If I ever get swatted, it ain't happening, because I'm too in with the local PD. And, like, don't get me wrong, I'm an anarchist. I don't really much like the police, but I don't like the police as a whole, as an organization. I'm fine with, like, individual police departments. I like my local PD.
Bit the head off of her live hamster. And these tiers of evil just keep progressively getting worse and worse and worse. There was an instance where a man, an American man, set himself on fire live on one of these calls due to the grooming and manipulation, while the leaders just looked and laughed. One even saying something like a joke, like, "Oh, what a terrible way to die."
Dude, what is with people lighting themselves on fire?
Like, that's such a way to go. There was a 17-year-old member named Tobbs, that's what he went by online, who actually attacked an 82-year-old person and then later went on to stab to death a 72-year-old person. This group, it doesn't make any sense. It's quite literally just violence. And the more violent, the more graphic, the more severe, the more absurd, the more shocking, the higher up you will rank.
Nothing's gonna be done, and it's gonna get worse.
And as I've stated, siblings are not off the table. Parents are not
You're
off
gonna start seeing it openly happening on the internet.
the table. I'll add another clip from the interview between the mother and the daughter, where the mother describes how she had to lock the dogs away behind a locked door at night because she was so fearful of her daughter, as well as sleeping with a knife with her because she was so fearful.
For many months, I lived in fear that she was going to kill me, and I would sleep with a kitchen knife under my pillow. My animals were behind a locked door. Every door in my house had a lock code.
And you let her have the internet. You should have fucking just moved. Holy shit, this mom is retarded.
Because some people might be thinking, well, why would she do all these precautions and like not get the police involved? The police were involved, they just did not care.
Yeah, that's when you pack up your whole life and fucking move to a trailer park in the middle of nowhere and don't give her anything. What the fuck?
It wasn't until later more connections to 764 were made that they finally tied it back to this girl and her mom. How deplorable. As I say in almost all of my videos, how many victims need to come forward before the police take absurd things seriously? Because like I'm still waiting for police to take my case with my stepdad seriously. Do I have to wait until there's more victims who decide to come forward? Or can they not just do their investigation based off of my consistent testimonies throughout the years? But I digress. They failed her. They failed her mom. Essentially telling them ignore it, it's just online stuff, right? Just turn off your computer, blah, blah, blah. Not knowing how far people like this will go. And now, thankfully, I've never been involved with something like this, and I've never had to go through something like this.
I have. What you literally have to do is pack up and move. That's the only way. And you probably can't let the kid know that you're packing up and moving until you're fucking moved.
But I do know my own abusers stopped at nothing to
Her situation different. I don't know what her situation is.
torment me. I moved over 600 miles away, never stepped foot on Missouri soil ever again. And they still somehow found out where I lived and sent the police to my house, claiming that I had plans to do great harm to my children and myself that day, on a random day. After I had...
Yeah, that's why you got to get to know your local PD.
They just consistently harass me, stalk me, just don't like me, don't like that I'm not
And also 600 miles away, that's not far enough.
Into them, don't like that I'm not giving into their requests and their demands, and that's how far they would go. Do you know how terrified I was? And the only way that I could have made them stop is if I just disappeared. And as I've said, these...
And I'm not telling her what she did was incorrect and what I'm saying is better, because hindsight is 20/20. I don't even know what her situation was like.
People are known to swat those who cross them. And the police did...
Yeah, nowadays, though, I'm telling you, she back then, whenever it happened to her, probably didn't know what you got to do because it was kind of a new thing. Nobody was thinking about it. But now, just get to know your local PD. That's it.
Nothing to help this family. So yeah, when the police tell you to just brush something off because it's just online,
yeah, they don't know
it's just drama, and they just don't want to look into it, they're
Yeah.
failing you.
Yes, they
They're
are.
failing you, because if you are
And also, I bet she was living in a city, which makes it even worse.
genuinely fearing for your life, that should be enough for an investigation to take place. They
True.
were failed. But how does one even start putting ideas in a child's head that they should take the life of their own parent if they didn't already have those ideas there in the first place?
Spiritual warfare.
Antinatalistic beliefs. So antinatalism is the idea that it is morally wrong and injustifiable for somebody to have children. Therefore, your parents do not love you. They are selfish and they only had you to fulfill their own personal satisfactions. Your parents don't love you. And did you really even want to be here? How selfish of them. I mean, look, they brought you here.
There's some sick, sadistic fucking people out there, man. They tell me this shit every single day. Still, I'm not a kid. I couldn't imagine what a kid would have to go through. It doesn't affect me. I just laugh it off because I've got armor of Christ on always. So nothing ever affects me. I'm always having a great time.
And you're still sad. That's terrible of them. They're so selfish. They're evil. They did this to you. That is how they are doing this. And again, please put yourself back in the mind of a 13, 14-year-old, of a troubled teen. If you were a troubled teen, and if you
I knew some troubled teens. I wasn't really a troubled teen myself.
weren't, try to understand that malleable brain and all of that information that they're getting, how confusing and scary, but validating, but not, that must be. I could not imagine being the kind of teen that I was growing up in the environment that I was growing up in and finding myself stumbling across these communities, as they are so easy to find these days.
They were easy to find back then too, like 15 years ago, dude. And I'd find them every once in a while. But like I said, I was rebellious. I wasn't malleable. I was hard-headed as fuck. I was retarded. Like, I was going in there and I was causing trouble. I didn't want to be a part of their thing. I wanted to go in and destroy their thing. It's funny, because they were usually trying to destroy everybody else's thing.
I know we just went over a lot of honestly really traumatizing details about exactly what happens within this cult, but again, for parents, I just want to recap exactly how this is happening. These 764 members are targeting your children on social media platforms like Roblox, Minecraft, Instagram, anything. I don't care if I didn't name it. If your child is on a social media platform, pay attention. This is important. They're posing themselves as a friend, non-threatening. They may have a cartoon freaking profile picture and I love SpongeBob in their bio, completely non-threatening, looks normal. And they're having conversations with your children, forming relationships with your children until they eventually coerce and groom your child into sending something they did not plan to or want to, whether it be sexual in nature or violent in nature. And then they will use those images and videos as blackmail and threaten your child that they will leak and dox all of their information, or they will SWAT the house. They then use that leverage to get your child to do more and more and more egregious things, as we have already discussed, and we did not even hit halfway through the tip of the iceberg there. And this group's ultimate goal with your child is either recruit them to also become top tier leaders or get your child to end their own life or someone else's. This is very serious. You need to pay attention to your children. You need to talk to your children.
Are people gonna finally start listening? Probably not. I think the people who were listening and are listening have already been taking measures against shit like this.
Dare I say, you need to be your kid's friend. When you are so focused on being the parent and making sure your kid is following the rules and blah, 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 that you miss the mark that your kid is also a human being who experiences, get this, the same emotions you do. Maybe not to the same degree, because you guys don't have the exact same life experience, but at the end of the day, I hate to say this, but you actually don't know everything going on in your kid's life. 9 times out of 10, you probably don't know everything.
Yep, my nephew came home accidentally letting swear words slip out of nowhere. Never done that before until he started going to school. That's because we don't know what's going on with the other kids when he's at school. And that's just, you know, something you got to deal with. Honestly, I wish that he wasn't actually going to school, but there's not much we could do about that right now. Because he really wanted to go to school and he was making it a real problem that he wasn't at school, so it was just better to send him. Oh, if we moved far away, like I say, but he's not my kid, so.
Thing going on in your kid's life, their inner workings of their mind, unless you're cool with being cool with them. Like, be friends with your kid. Pay attention to your kid. Are they
my nephew's not on the internet and he's not allowed to play Roblox or anything like that. Right, he's been playing Mega Man X, been having a great time.
Wearing long sleeves and pants when it's like 80 degrees outside and normally they're the first person to walk out of the house in a pair of shorts and tank top? That's weird. And you should look more at that than, oh, I guess they just changed their fashion sense. Do they all of a sudden have a new online friend that they're really interested in? Are they playing Roblox and all of a sudden they're getting more Robux? Or maybe they're all of a sudden getting cashed up extra money for fast food or something and it's coming from their online friend. Or maybe they just found a really cool community with a bunch of people. They're weird like me, dude. I like horror. They're just into horror too. But what kind of horror are we talking about? Because there is a difference. There is a difference between horror and real gore videos.
Yeah.
And I want to talk on that for a second too.
I used to see them all the time whenever I was a kid. They used to be all over the internet. There used to be full-on websites, easy access everywhere. And if you were online like me, you knew which ones that were which. And people would just talk about them. We knew that they were there. Sometimes we'd go to them to shock our friends, but it wasn't a thing we were really into. Definitely there were some kids into that. I think, once again, you got to have that rebellious mind.
As parents, the real gore video stuff, that really does mess with a kid.
It does.
My own mother showed me those videos. I will never forget. I will never forget the day that I saw somebody have their life taken from them. And it was in the most brutal way possible.
That's crazy.
It was not like is even normal, but it was, I don't know why my mom showed me that. And it obviously, as you can see, has stuck with me my whole life. And it's not something
that's rough. Somebody who has that's a little bit, you know, weaker hearted, weaker souled. I don't know when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because I remember when I was like 15, I saw that drunk guy who jumped off the bridge and he slapped his face on the concrete down below. And it showed them trying to put him back together because he was still alive for a little while. That was fucked up. That's probably one of the most fucked up videos that I've seen. That sticks with me. I still remember like every single moment of that video. It just played in my head. No thanks. No. Kids don't need to be seeing that shit, even if it's just like in passing and they're like, I know it exists, I'm not gonna look at it. Like, just like seeing it in passing fucks you up, dude.
Taken lightly. It doesn't matter that you just saw it through a screen. There are actual studies that show that it affects the brain in the same ways as actually seeing it face to face.
I think it's worse because even if, say, you're like an ISIS terrorist, how much death are you seeing on a daily basis compared to somebody who's into gore videos on the internet? It's way more on the internet. Way worse too. Way worse, because they're just doing executions with like ISIS if you're there, and then you got kids that are just, you know, going through ISIS compilations. Man, that was a thing back when I was a kid. People watching ISIS compilations.
It is not okay. It's not normal. Please pay attention to your children.
That's where it all started.
There is a difference between your kid liking scary, creepy stuff and your children watching people lose their lives for fun. There is a difference between scary, creepy thriller and your children enjoying watching videos of people cutting themselves. There is a difference. This is actually a list of things that the FBI wants parents to pay attention to in their kids as possible indicators or warning signs that your child might be involved in something like 764. Sudden behavior changes such as becoming withdrawn, moody, or irritable. Sudden changes in appearance, especially neglect of appearance. Changes in eating or sleeping habits. Dropping out of activities and becoming more isolated and withdrawn. A new online friend or network perspective victim seem infatuated with or scared of. Receipt of anonymous gifts, such as items delivered to your home, currency, gaming currency, or other virtual items. Scars, often in patterns. Fresh cuts, scratches, bruises, bite marks, burns, or other wounds. Carvings, such as words or symbols on the skin. Wearing long sleeves or pants in hot weather, writing in blood or what appears to be blood, threatening to commit suicide and openly talking about death, not being wanted or needed, or not being around, idealization of mass shooting or mass casualty events, family pets or other animals being harmed or under suspicious circumstances, family pets uncharacteristically avoid or are fearful of your child or you, law enforcement being called to the home under false pretenses, known as swatted or doxxed by an unknown person. Pay attention to your kids. Talk to your kids, and talk to your kids without shaming them, without making them feel like they're disgusting, because if they're involved in something like this, then clearly they're already dealing with a lot internally. Don't be afraid to ask for help, to reach out for help. And if you suspect that your child may be involved in something like this, or your child was involved in something like 764, please do not hesitate to reach out to your local FBI office and speak with them. As like I said, this is an active, ongoing investigation, and as many of these people that we can get taken away and put behind bars as we can is for the best. And if you or somebody that you know is struggling with their mental health, please know that help is available. I have been on the very bottom of that trench myself, and you are not alone. There is light on the other side if you can get through it. Please don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Talk to somebody. If you are in the United States or Canada, you can call.
You know, I wish that kids would find more communities full of people who are just laughing, having a good time. Unfortunately, those aren't the types of communities that are going after children. I wish it was reversed. I wish the happy-go-lucky people were more likely to go after children than fucking satanic pedophiles. It's so sad, man.
988 and speak with somebody about how you're feeling. This was a really hard video for me to make, but I hope if you are a parent, you were able to heed this warning and keep your children safe. Maybe this was the little push that you needed to completely take your kid offline and not let them have access to be able to talk to strangers online.
Exactly. Dude, at this point, after everybody's been drilling it into everybody's heads, if you're still doing it, you're fucking retarded, dude. Like, you're... I don't know, man. I'd getting to the point where if people are still letting their kids play games like Roblox online, you should have your kids taken away. I don't know. I don't know if I'd go that far, but like, fuck, dude. Something's gotta give. These parents are retarded. Don't let your kids play online games with random people where they can just put whatever they want into the game that you're playing. I don't know what's so fucking difficult to understand about that. I'm gonna go back to YouTube because there's some crazy, crazy shit. Science proves women are nuts. I don't need to watch a video to know that. What is this? Okay, I already went over that. YouTube essays. Yeah. That whole thing. New Epstein files. Yeah, I've already pretty much looked over everything that was the craziest stuff. Everybody's watching that again. Everybody hates Legal Eagle. Sorry to say this about what? Oh, seems like Pro Gerard the finishes is done. Outer Worlds 2 underperformed, oh, you don't say. Oh, the election was stolen. Already knew that. Facebook Marketplace scam. Oh man, YouTube, you're so boring. Why are you... Oh, secret cults. That seems very interesting. Oh, I just remembered. I was looking for Sean Ryan 764. What is all the Okay, it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
How did these guys pop on? your radar.
764 Group is a Satanist cult group that focuses on extreme violence. One of the main things that they focus on is extortion towards children. They believe that nothing matters. They extort children into cutting their wrists, engraving their names into their chests, their legs. They've had children commit suicide live on camera in front of audiences of people while they get cheered on. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
What is 764? What is it?
So I'll tell you in my own words first. 764 Group is a Satanist cult group that
there's a lot of those,
on
ain't there?
Extreme violence, and
how about that?
One of the main things that they focus on is sextortion towards children. They're labeled as a nihilist group, and for anyone that doesn't know what a nihilist is, it just means like they believe that nothing matters. No, like there's a group called it, but no lives matter. No human life matters. Nothing matters. That's what a nihilist is.
Hashtag
And
no lives
these
matter.
people have proved over and over again that they fit exactly the description that they're labeled as. And there are a ton of offshoots of this group, which I want to make it very clear that the main reason why they do a lot of the things that I'm about to show you is to get the recognition for it. There is to get the recognition individually, even if they're part of a group or a group that, you know, they just want their group out there in any way, whether it's negative or positive. This group isn't looking for positive attention. I'll just be candid about it and tell you they extort children out of sexual material. They extort children into cutting their wrist.
Yeah, it's all just a game. They're bored. They're playing games. It's so fucked, man.
Themselves, cutting areas of their body, engraving their names into their chests, their legs, their arms, their faces. They've had children commit suicide live on camera in front of audiences of people while they get cheered on. They convince children to kill animals in their house, like their pet cats, their pet dogs. They try to
they make horror movies like this. Actually, this is worse than any horror movie that I've ever heard of. It makes me want to make a horror movie based on this, but it's not going to be as bad as the real thing, I think.
Them to kill their family members, commit mass murders, bestiality, incest, you name it. A lot of it has already been done, and I
think a lot of the tactics that are used in this 764 group are used by the people who got people to commit violent acts, say against Charlie Kirk or Donald Trump.
A lot of examples of that to show you today, and that is only with 2 of these groups that we've been doing passive reconnaissance on for a short period of time. There is plenty of other active investigations that are going on with other organizations and that I may or may not have involvement in. But what I can show you today is based on what Sentinel and I have found in a relatively short period of time, and it's going to blow your mind. It's absolutely disgusting, and there's more to it. But it was created by it was unbelievable. But a 15-year-old boy started this group in Texas.
That's about how it goes, right?
15-year-old boy.
15-year-old boy.
That's how it goes with these like online groups. It used to be like these weird hacker groups, but now it's just these violent satanic cult groups.
Boy started the group. He was the beginning of it, and he, from what I read, was a nonverbal kid that had some issues. I don't want to glorify this kid or talk about him in any way where anyone would feel bad for him, because he created something that is the worst thing next to all the other things that we've talked about. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I'd say this is almost as bad as elite pedophiles doing satanic rituals and like dismembering children. I think it's on that level, but it's just the fact that it's not elites, maybe, that we know of.
And we'll see how you feel about it when you see it. But it was all started from this kid, and there's something called I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's called the COM. And the COM is a collection of mostly teenagers, but there's adults in there as well that
usually how that goes
congregate on the internet. The COM is short for the community, And they congregate on the internet, and they dox, meaning like release personal information on people. They SWAT, meaning they send SWAT teams to people's houses just to, scare them and to get recordings of them being swatted so they can use it to brag. Like, for example, they'll call in to a local department and say, hey, my name is John Doe. I have bombs strapped to the windows. I have my family strapped to the chairs. I'm going to shoot them all if any police enter the door. They're going to say all these horrible things so that a SWAT team, responds. And that's what swatting is. I've personally been swatted 3 times, 2 of which,
even I've been swatted, but it wasn't by anybody online. It was by my own mother.
Police actually showed up, and it was a big deal. I have a video of one of them, but I never gave them the recognition that it happened. There was no proof that it happened other than my recordings of it that I saved on my
phone. Because if you make them think that it's working, that it's freaking you out, then it's going to get worse.
Phone. I didn't want to give them the credit, So that's the comm. The 764 group actually came from the comm. And that doesn't mean all of the people in the comm have their own problems. They do their own stupid stuff. They've been torturing me since I was on your show 3 years ago, releasing my credit report, my personal information, sending pizzas to my houses, USPS boxes to my houses, and on like pretty much thousands of boxes. No, literally thousands.
Sending what to your house?
USPS boxes.
Why?
Because they're free. Like, you can order them on the USPS site, and they'll just keep sending pallet after pallet after pallet of these boxes. It's like just to be annoying.
What the fuck?
Like, they do it to be annoying and to get a reaction out of it.
Send me some boxes.
That's the comm, and a lot of them don't like me, and that's I'll keep the comm pretty short because they're a whole different topic. But
the comm, how do you spell that?
Usually just annoying. I wouldn't say that they're hackers. I would say they're more annoying, and they have technical abilities. Getting information on people, the way that they mostly do it is they like to use the term TLO, which TLO is just something TransUnion offers to run a report on somebody. And they'll use like a stolen private investigator's account to run somebody's name, get their social credit report, and all of the above. And if they don't have access to one, they'll pay $15 to someone that does. And that's how they got my information, which I don't care. I genuinely don't. My credit's frozen. My address is out there publicly. There's nothing about me that they're going to find that isn't already out there. Like, it doesn't matter to me. You can dox me all you want. You could try to swat me, but I know all the police all around my area. They're fully aware that people are going to try swatting me and have continued to try to swat me. I'm not really worried about them. It's more so the 764 group that stemmed from the comm, which is a whole different set of evil that I've never seen, where they want to they want to sextort children. And sextortion, usually, for the people out there that are not familiar with that term, sextortion is when somebody sends naked photos, could be an adult or a child, and the second that those photos are sent, they say, if you don't send me X amount of dollars, I'm going to send this to your family, your friends, your school, your loved ones, and they try to extort them out of funds. Most of those sextorters, not that it's okay by any means, but most of them are just trying to make money. They're not trying to do anything evil. And 9 times out of 10, they're never going to send that to anybody. Because they're never going to get paid if they do, evil. Number one. And number two, they're like, if there was a child that they have nude images of, they would be distributing CSAM, like child sexual abuse material. So, it happened. The reason why I say that is I have a family member that's very close to me that it happened to. He sent stupid pictures.
I have a friend who that happened to her kid, but retardedly, she went back to letting her play Roblox. And I was just like, oh, well, what the fuck can I do?
He was an underage boy, and I won't say his name, obviously, but I had to coach him through how to deal with these people, and they wanted money. They didn't want any of this other evil stuff. And I got them to click a link, the scammers. I found out that they were in, a foreign country that was, I believe it was Nigeria. It was a couple years ago, but I think it was Nigerian scammers. And I told them, just ignore them. Just don't say anything to them. Ignore them. I know it's hard.
I'd fuck with them. If it was me getting in touch with some scammers or scammers trying to get in touch with me at that age, I would 1000% fuck with them.
I know you probably feel like they're going to ruin your life, but they have no benefit in sending your photos to anybody.
I wouldn't have gave a fuck because that already had happened to me multiple times at that point. So like I was just, you know.
And they didn't. That doesn't mean that doesn't happen. It just didn't happen to him, and most of the time, why would they? It's wrong, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm not trying to make it sound okay, but in comparison to what these sextorters do, it's not even comparable, man.
I remember you telling me about these guys the last time we met in Florida.
Yeah.
How bad this shit is.
Yeah, I've been working.
Me and my brother got in trouble for showing people our ass on, what was it, Omegle? Yeah.
On this for a long time, and with Sentinels.
Oh, we weren't just showing our asses, but that's what we got in trouble for.
It's been a few months, but I've been working on it for a long time. So it is.
How did these guys pop on your radar?
So I was a federal agent actually gave me a heads up about them, and from there I never heard of them at that point, and I started digging in, just reading the public stuff out there, and it blew my mind. It was like the clearest definition of, you know, evil. Like I keep saying the word, but it is just pure evil, and that's what they want. That's what they're going for. But it's just hard to believe that people out there exist that are even worse, or if not the same level of evil as the other people that I'm fighting against. And a lot of them are teenagers and young 20-somethings, but you know, there's the random 30, 40-plus-year-olds that are involved in this as well, that they just want to cause harm. They want to cause.
And they're gonna get caught out the more people catch on to this shit, because there's some gray hat hackers, not white hat hackers, not black hat, gray hat hackers, who will take you the fuck down. They will enjoy it. They will laugh at you while they take you down, and they do it for a good cause. They're not doing it for evil, but it's gonna seem like they're evil as they're doing it, but they're doing it to evil people, so I don't give a fuck. It's like Deadpool.
It's destruction, and what is the next level? It's, you know, it starts with, and I'll get into some of the terminology, but they call it cut signs, or I've heard in some of the groups, cut sluts is what they'll call the little girls, where they cut a username into their arm or their breasts or their legs or whatever part of their body. And it started with that, and then it was, okay, what's the next step? Kill the animals, and then, you know, hold up a username on a piece of paper, and then hold the dead animal in the other hand. And, you know, like that group will then send that message everywhere. And then the person thinks by doing that, the child thinks by doing that, they're going to stop. They're going to leave them alone. And what ends up happening is they know that victim's just going to keep doing whatever they ask, because they've already done it, and now they're in possession of the nudes, and these people will send it to your family and friends. And it's just unbelievable. There's more to it, but I want to show you some of the content and some of the questions that I'm sure you're going to have. I can answer.
And by the way, I've got a story for that too. Somebody receiving nudes that were sent around. I've got a story for all of this shit, because it happens so often, and it's always from these same places. It's usually Roblox. So there was nude pictures of a kid that was going to my church that was circulating around, and it got up to my not the pastor, what is it called? The guy underneath the pastor. He was basically running the worship service. Well, it got around to that guy. It made it to his phone, and it wasn't that a kid was circulating it around. Somebody was sending it to all of the people that kid knew, and somehow knew who that kid knew, where that kid was going to church. It was fucking crazy. That kid basically just had to move. Like that was it, because everybody knew.
And I want to. There's just so much to this that I could go on like an hour tangent trying to explain it. But could I just start by showing you this situation, and then we'll take it from there.
No matter where you're watching, Sean Ryan.
He's not going to show it. What about the next part? Oh boy. Let me find it. I want to find it. Does he got timestamps? How do you see the timestamps? Right here? Timestamps? Okay, okay. Legal battles, ongoing, spy gadgets, childhood struggles, fentanyl epidemic, 70 Kratom, Sentinel, 764.
Life
Yeah.
matters, nothing matters. That's what a nihilist is. And these people have proved over and over again that they are.
Here we go. Perfect.
So I went into the 15-year-old that started it. He started luring minors from Minecraft. That's where it all began. It all started with him.
That's another game that I say that they need to shut down the online for.
Luring minors on Minecraft to, sextort them and make them self-harm. The group was influenced by Order of Nine Angles, which is a Satanist group.
Order of Nine Angles. Okay, got it.
Outside of the internet, which is a combination of Satanism, neo-Nazism, occultism, and all kinds of things. So, obviously that goes with, if I want to just read a list, it's rejected empathy, promoted ritual violence, belief in culling, which, if you know what culling is, that means that real power comes from harming others without hesitation. So that's like a whole Satanist belief.
It's like culling chickens, culling sheep whenever they get sick, and you have to kill a whole bunch of them so the rest of them don't get sick.
And then there's a ton of offshoots, a ton of these other groups that I have notes that, no exaggeration, this long, full of different groups that are doing the same thing, full of members.
How many members does this 764 group have?
If I don't have an exact number on it, but if I had to guess, 20,000, 30,000.
20,000 people.
Oh, it's huge. Like, there is no shortage of these scumbags. No shortage. The average vulnerable target that they're going for is 9 to 17 years old.
20,000 people. That's not very many people, but that's enough people to do a lot of fucking damage.
9 to 17. That's the average. They'll go for anybody, but that's usually what they run into in these games like Minecraft and Roblox and other social media apps. And without going into more of these notes, because I'm just trying to hit some key points and not forget them. They're targeting minors, and I have a few screenshots to show you this, on mental health forums. So they'll go to a mental health forum where they see somebody is struggling as a kid, saying that they're either being bullied in school and they don't want to live anymore, or that they're self-harming already, and they'll pretend. So they lure from those groups, they groom them.
I wish we had some groups, like online groups, that are easy to find, that you can find people that are definitely not going to be harming kids, to talk to kids. I don't know of any places that do that. I don't know anybody who's actually doing that.
By trying to be their friend or pretend to be their boyfriend and give them actual mental health therapy. Sorry, it's hard for me to even say this. Mental health therapy. And I'll read those conversations, some of the grooming that they do, and they even have playbooks on how grooming, and they have an over 240-page manual on how to do this to children that they share amongst each other. And they, like I said, they're all in mental health forums. They even had I have a tweet that I took a screenshot of. I'll show you, where it's a group that where they're saying, like, join here if you're struggling with mental health, and it's just a direct link into one of these horrible groups that, as soon as that person or child, mostly children, believes that person's their boyfriend or their friend or their girlfriend, one or the other, and they send those nude photos, the second that happens, then they go right into the extortion and extreme violence. All they want to create what's called, and like I said, I'll get into the slang, they want to create what's called a lore book. So it's like a collection of all of their extortion material that they could use against them.
That's crazy.
And do I need to use any more of these? Let me see. Yeah, so, okay, in these notes too, over 250 ongoing investigations by the FBI, briefings at Europol conference, FBI classified.
250 out of what? 20,000, he said, that are known?
764 as as a domestic
terrorist group.
Terrorist group, yep. And then there's a bunch of people that were arrested. But where do you see the time that a lot of these people got? It's nothing, man. It's nothing. And some of them are having children kill themselves. Like, it's mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing. But
no, it's because the government's run by Satanist pedophiles.
Are you talking about time they got in prison?
Time they got in prison, yeah.
They've had people kill themselves through extortion, and I mean, what is the sentence? What is it?
So I'll read you some of the stories. Okay, so these are just notes that I wrote for this podcast, and I figured that I would.
He's going to get to the sentences after he tells us how bad this shit is.
Do a lot of it off the top of my head, but it gets me so worked up that I'm probably better off just making sure I get this on point. But 14-year-old, and I'm just going to use their first names, the victims. Even if it is public. 14-year-old Elliot joined a black metal music forum during a tough family transition and started at a new high school. 764 members pretended to be supporting quote-unquote friends, directing him to gore sites, which later escalated to him carving satanic symbols into his skin and producing hundreds of self-harm photos categorized as CSAM. So that was one, and something that I learned is that self-harm pictures within themselves, even if it's children, from what I read, is not considered CSAM, like child sexual abuse material.
Why is it not?
If it is sexualized,
it definitely is. Even if it's not sexualized, it definitely is. It should be classified as that. What the fuck are we doing here?
It's into child sexual abuse material.
How is that not just as bad?
So that's a weird thing for me. I don't fully understand that. Another one. A teenage girl named Eve was found in another Discord server. Discord's a chat application that a lot of them use. By a 764 member posing as a friend. He faked giving her a ton of affection, support, which in quotes, which she desperately needed at that time, which is what she said. Then extorted naked photos and forced her on video to carve usernames deeply into her skin, and strangle and behead her pet hamster. A member said, bite the head off.
I heard about this one from the last video.
Up, in quotes. And later, she cut herself deeply in the bath to, as they told her to, turn the water red. And there's, a video of her in a bathtub that's red, full of her blood. They even sent a SWAT team to her home, as well as leaving permanent 764 scars all over her body. She's still in therapy. And she did all of this in her bedroom closet, and I have the pictures to show you this with this particular victim. A 25-year-old man, deep in depression, was targeted by a female that was also recruited into 764, so likely a victim herself that was converted into an extorter, which happens often, by the way.
That happened? Yeah. That's common?
That's common because these kids, they're already, a lot of them struggling with mental health issues. They find a group that they think are their friends somehow, and then they start extorting other kids. So it's
yeah, they think that they're their friends. They're nice, and then whenever they go against the grain, they're not so nice anymore, and the kid gets scared, doesn't want to lose their group, so they do what they are told to do so they can still be cool.
Vicious cycle that needs to be broken. She started, so in this particular case, the 25-year-old man, deep in depression, was targeted by a female, recruited into 764. She started daring him to commit self-harm videos, which later escalated to him dousing himself in gasoline, lighting himself on fire in his hotel room. As the group watched and laughed at him.
That guy definitely had some mental issues. What did he say? He was 25 years old? There's no way you're doing something like that if you don't have mental issues.
At him. He passed away. See screenshot I wrote of the virtual funeral, because that's what he said. Watch my virtual funeral. And I want you to hear these idiots in the YouTube video. As this guy lights himself on fire.
Is that why I don't get any views? I gotta make sure I'm not just some guy lighting himself on fire. The fuck, YouTube?
Bishkek, called Tashtar Ata. He found a spot in the snow, set up his phone, and lit himself on fire. The entire ordeal played out live on a Discord call. At least 29 users were in the server while it happened, as he was propping up his phone, sitting on the ground, praying, then dousing himself. Some were recording, others were cheering. In one clip, someone shouts out the group. Another calls her by name.
Shout out to Discord people. Fucking Xanax. Shout out to fucking 764.
Shout out to everyone fucking. Big shout out to Money and big shout out to SMLK. And we gotta say, it took him so fucking long.
Dude, these sound like a bunch of degenerate kids that I used to hang out with, man.
323 is better than 764.
That's the worst death possible, man.
You hear that? So he said he said that is the worst death possible, man.
That is the worst death. That's the way he said it.
And they're laughing about it. And what you didn't see on the screen is a blurred video of him lighting himself on fire dead on the ground as these people are laughing at him and naming out their groups that are not associated with 764 but offshoots of 764. So that's...
Yeah, this is like the Kia Boys, but on the next fucking satanic level online.
That's from a public YouTube video, but relates to that story I was just telling you. Another one, in one case, a person was already arrested, threw a brick through the window of a pregnant teen's car that was lured from Roblox. She threatened to report the group to NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the shock put her into cardiac arrest, killing her and the baby. The guy was arrested for being part of the COM, meaning the 764 group, and he had his own offshoot, and was charging 50 to 200.
They all think that they're like kings, you know. They're like, I'm going to start my own thing, be part of my own community. I want to be a leader.
Dollars for bricking, swatting, and doxing services. So bricking, like I said, I'm going to go over these terms, but bricking means show up at somebody's house and either throw a brick through their window, shoot it up with a gun, vandalize it, break windows, do something, record the video, and post it. And sometimes when they do this bricking thing, they'll do it to their own members to see if they're loyal and you know, like, won't call the cops, and if the cops come, they won't snitch. They'll literally do it as a loyalty test, which gets even worse in a bit. But that's what bricking is, and that guy is arrested. 22-year-old member of one of the groups kidnapped and raped a 12-year-old girl in Virginia. He was convicted and sentenced to, this is a long sentence, to 350 years in prison.
Right on.
764 group
Ain't
also
long enough.
leveraged animal torture, incest, self-harm, bestiality from their victims. 17-year-old member Nino live streamed himself attacking an 82-year-old man, and 2 weeks later he murdered a 74-year-old woman on video who he believed to be Roma to prove his loyalty to the group. He was only sentenced to 14 years, and I have a video of that, which is very disturbing. He murdered...
I think eye for an eye. If you murder somebody, you basically, you get your life taken. I don't know about a life... the life sentence, definitely. I don't know about death row for a lot of these cases.
He murdered...
But definitely have them doing something. If you murder somebody, you get sentenced to slavery forever.
Hurt an old man terribly and murdered an old woman gruesomely live on Discord, the chat application, just to prove to these...
I don't care if you got mental health issues. I don't care if you got tricked into it. If these people can that easily be tricked into murdering somebody, they don't need to be on the streets.
People that he had what it takes to be part of their group.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
And did you hear the sentence? 14 years. 14 years.
Where was that?
I don't know off the top of my head.
14?
California, Illinois, New York. Just name any blue state is probably one of those.
14 years.
I would imagine it wasn't the United States, because if you believe them to be Roma, that's like a usually other countries. So another one, a 13-year-old girl. This happened 4 days ago.
Where?
In Washington State. A 13-year-old.
Oh, okay. I'm going to take a guess and say 11 years.
A girl was found hanging in a parking lot in Washington while live streaming her suicide. The chat was encouraging her to take her clothes off because they said it would be hotter, quote unquote. And I have the article about that, but she the criminal that convinced her originally to live stream this was he was dubbed with hundreds of crimes, and he victimized more than 30 children alone by himself. This one guy. The 13-year-old girl was hanging in a parking lot dead, while the chat was telling her to get naked because it would be hotter. And that just happened, so I don't know about an arrest on that yet.
Well, I'm going to take a guess and say 11 years if it was Washington.
Lying, which I'll get into the videos in a second. So cut signs, cut sluts, carving names, group names into their skin very deeply, not like scratching a little bit, like going in, you know, permanent
You told me in
scars.
Florida that one girl was swallowing razor blades.
A little boy, yeah.
Or a boy.
Yeah, a little boy was swallowing razor blades on camera. Allure book, Allure book is a victim collage of CSAM that they will use to threaten to show family, friends in school. Luring via social media, online games, leverage for nudes, and later extort via self-mutilation, suicide, and all the other things. Like one of them is lighting a homeless person on fire with a Molotov cocktail. That's something else that I'll show you. Swatting.
I mean, like, I don't like homeless people as much as the next guy, but come on, man, you can't be lighting them on fire.
Sending a SWAT team to
You
a
gotta send them
victim's
to
house, tricking
California.
the local PD into believing an actual crime is being committed in their house. Tradecraft, that's the evasion playbook. So meaning they're encrypted chat rooms, and you need proof of crime to enter. So, like, you know, either it's a combination of you doing self-harm, showing the victims that you.
Are there children in there? Are children allowed in there? If so, then I don't give a fuck.
You've had do things to themselves, murder videos of you doing things to animals or people, something that, you know, that they call that tradecraft. To get initiated into these groups, you need to prove tradecraft is the evasion side of things, like how to hide. I don't know why I have it on the same line here, but the proof of crime to enter is what most of them require for you to join these private groups. Where these people are at, unless you're a victim.
I thought it was like an app called Tradecraft that they were using that you had to that was encrypted or something. No, it means that is the way that they get people to join.
They'll just bring you in, obviously. Bricking, I explained what that is: throwing a brick or gunshot at the house, or multiple gunshots. Where one of the cases was a teenage girl pregnant with a baby, and the brick went through her back windshield, put her into cardiac arrest, and killed her and the baby just from a brick going through the windshield.
Why would a victim want to join this? Do they feel that they don't belong anywhere else after they've become a victim because of the extortion?
It could definitely be the case.
Why would you?
There are some depraved, deranged kids out there, man. We can't just act like that all the kids are innocent. Like, there are some fucked up kids that get into this shit. Like, I knew kids like this when I was in school.
Want to do that to somebody else after you've just been through it?
I don't know. I can't put myself in their heads, because I can't comprehend this as a human being, how you could even do something like this.
Me neither.
I can't.
So I don't know how.
Not myself, but I was in fucked up situations when I was a kid. I don't know what else to say about that, actually. Like, you know, I knew some fucked up people. I was going around partying. I knew a lot of fucked up adults that showed me fucked up things. I was going to fucked up websites. I don't want to say any of them, but if you're my age and you were on the internet at that time, you fucking know. You know what I'm talking about.
Them could turn into one of these scumbags, but it happens often, unfortunately. And they're young, impressionable kids. So the way I look at it, as I was young at one point in online chat rooms, and thank God I never had anything like this happen to me. And I never sent.
I've seen a couple of these types of deals happen in online chat, not like they actually doing stuff, but you know, these people talking about crazy shit and sharing videos. I've been in those chat rooms before when I was a kid, and I fucking hated those people, and I let it be known, and they immediately kicked me out. I'm glad that they didn't like try and hack me or something, or like I'm glad they didn't try and find me back then, because you know, I was a fucking asshole, dude. For good reason, I guess.
A naked photo in my life. So I've never had as a possibility, but I could see with some of the hacking communities I hung around doing illegal things, I could see myself doing something stupid that I normally wouldn't be doing otherwise because I wanted to fit in with that specific group. And
I wasn't trying to fit in with nobody. I was trying to be the outlier all the time. I wanted to be different.
You know, you talk about a 12, 13-year-old something,
The rebel.
girl or boy.
The anarchist.
Maybe these people have convinced them what they're doing is okay.
Still an anarchist.
Okay. So I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize why somebody could be that evil, but that it is a thing. And then the last one I want to add here, Sean, is blood writing, which is a very common thing they like to do, which is smearing blood on the wall, usually satanic symbols, usernames, and group names, in their own blood from the cut signs. So from there, I kind of want to put it in your hands here where you can see what do you think the best way of doing this is? Because I have them organized in folders for the different categories of stuff. So do you have any questions before I show you that stuff, or do you want to see it and then talk about it?
Just flip it around and show it to me.
There's a lot. Like it's going to take a second to go through. So
What am I looking at here?
So I don't have them in order because this is a shared cloud thing. But luring, grooming, like if you start with luring, and you see here, like if you double
I'm so glad that I'm not looking at this.
Join cool friendly. Yeah, if you want to read them.
Join cool friendly server to help you go through your hard times.
And that's a
It has
direct
Discord link.
Yeah, direct link for one of their communities, and then you hit the right.
Yeah,
arrow.
they know who their target audience is.
Okay, here.
Outpatient Wellness Center.
And then if you read their description.
No CP, gore leaking, no drugs, guns, or nudity, no advertising. Join group.
I don't want to know.
Cultist Discord's thread. Join if you are any of the following: mentally ill, fatherless, daddy issues, schizo,
Borderline personality disorder, and then femcells, like some
Schizo.
Like, you know,
I know somebody who's schizophrenic, and they buy into really crazy delusions whenever they're on one.
Act like a girl or feel like a girl or something like that. So that's just some of the luring. It's easy, you know, this is how kids could join a group and not know like what they're joining in advance. They think, wow, this is a group full of people that might help me with whatever I'm going through. And if you scroll, to grooming, here's one of this is one they share amongst each other.
Grooming. Grooming is very commonly used and easy way to get content. Usually when you have groomed your victim, she will do exactly as you say, no matter what. You have to make your victim think that you are her god and that you own her and forever will. You can find victims on games like Roblox or on social media platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram, etc. Once you have found your victim, you have to spend a lot of time on her, make her think you can relate to a lot of stuff and play games with her. Call her cute nicknames when you have talked for a little, like princess, darling, honey, etc. This will make her more attached to you because females love being called nicknames. Once you have talked for a while, you are going to ask her to be your girlfriend, which she most likely is going to say yes to. Now that she is under your control, you may start asking her for stuff like nudes, personal information, etc. If she doesn't do self-harm already, then you must extort your victim. But if she does, she will almost guaranteed cut for your dirty needs when you have done all of this.
What the fuck? And the acknowledgement that is dirty.
Yep, and then here's
so fucking depraved and evil.
You don't have to read the whole thing. Just this is a guy grooming a victim.
I'm really sorry, and I love you a lot. You're the most beautiful, cutest, sweetest, most adorable girl in the world. But the only problem is that you're not my girl, and I want you to be. I know I'm somewhat demanding of things. I'm sorry for that, and I'll work on that issue of mine. I'm just saying, I really want you. You're the sweetest girl in the whole world, and I'm like obsessed with you. I don't know, but I'm sorry for threatening you. I thought I was gonna lose you. So
This is broken teenager talk right here. This is somebody who knows how a broken teenager would speak to another broken teenager. Because this is how, like, I used to speak whenever I was a kid, whenever I was a broken teenager. Not trying to get shit like this, though.
So I just
so
started
fucking manipulative.
saying stupid shit.
Which I was, but not this kind.
Would really like you or anything. You're too sweet and cute for me to do something like that to you. If you gave me a chance and we date, I promise and vow on my life I'll make it the best RLS you'll ever have.
I have no idea what that one is.
And hopefully the last. We can have fun all the time, and I'll text you nonstop. I'll block every girl on my friends list, even the guys.
The best relationship. That's what that stands for.
If you want that, I won't talk to anyone for you. I really like you a lot, and I'm really sorry. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Is it the same guy?
No, it's a different person. Each one's different.
I don't understand this shit, but what are you talking about? LOL.
I totally wasn't stalking your account. What you doing? Totally. I'm in bed right now. Papa finna get in shower. She says, I'm tired. He says, take a shower with Papa. Or he says, take a shower with Papa. She said, I'll be naked. Scary.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird, man. Teenagers playing along into this weird, like, power play, role play.
He goes, Papa will be naked too. It's okay. Daughter's supposed to take showers with Papa's. Papa will make your squeaky,
dude?
Clean, okay? She says, yes, clean me, touch all over me. He says, I will. Papa will have to
This
touch.
is weird shit. Even if you weren't doing the mommy daddy thing and it was just like a relationship doing this over text. It's so fucking weird, man.
Your privates, though. And this is in the grooming stage, remember, where they don't know they're about to get extorted.
Jeez.
I mean, there's this you could see, please don't leave me. I'll do anything. I'll do it fine. I love you so much, more than anything, anyone else in the entire world. You make me so happy when I hear your voice. I smile so much. Your voice is so pretty. You're the most beautiful girl in the entire world, and I hope you know that. You make me so happy. I hope you know how much I love you so much. I'm really sorry for the things I've done. Please.
How long till the AI starts doing this shit?
Forgive me. I love you. Respond. I'm sorry. He just is blowing up her messenger because she's not answering him. And that's the grooming side of things, which, you know, appears, if you were to not know anything else, it appears like a guy that wants to get, you know, hook up with a girl that's young. Sorry, skip some of that.
1000%.
And then from here, start to get into things that are a little more rough. So here's some of the guys you already read. Grooming, the extortion one, if you want to read that.
To start off, for you to be able to extort, you must also have the ability to groom. Without grooming, you won't even get any information or any nudes. And if you groomed your victim, you pretty much have control of her. To extort a female properly, you must have the following. Personal information, addresses, names, phone numbers, and nudes. Once you have this stuff, you may start threatening your victim with, for example, sending her nudes to her parents, swatting, and leaking personal information, etc. If she doesn't do as you say, examples, make a blood sign, make a cut sign, kill your cat, and kill yourself. At the end, if you have done everything correctly, you should have gotten exactly what you want to. Remember, never say content is content, because no one wants to see some shitty cat scratches.
Right, meaning there's content is content. What they're saying is they don't want you to grab like a paper clip and write a username into their arm. They want you to deeply cut it into there where it's going to permanently scar and bleed badly. And you read that. There's a website, and I won't name the website, but there's a website.
Yeah, they want it to look fucking brutal.
It has,
Someone's
look how
gonna
long that
stay.
takes to read, the average. They have a whole handbook on people, like they train each other on how to extort minors into doing these horrible things. It's unbelievable.
Jeez. This is the prologue of Handbook. The Handbook is a comprehensive guide that provides deep insights into the tactics and strategies that can be used to blackmail and exploit victims, primarily through the use of compromising photos or videos. It delves into aspects of coercion and highlights the
Okay. I think it's coercion, but yeah.
various methods to maintain control.
Oh, coercion.
Coercion. Instill
I don't think that's how you spell coercion.
fear and coerce victims into complying with the perpetrator's demands. Additionally, it offers step-by-step instructions for everything there is to know about carrying out a successful scheme, from identifying potential targets to executing the blackmail process to creating convincing fake identities, maintaining anonymity online, monetizing, and safely storing content, ensuring that the perpetrator remains untraceable. This is not a handbook to teach victims how to protect themselves or seek help, but rather to teach perpetrators how to locate and exploit their victims.
They're just letting it be known.
So, my dear
Just
reader,
like that.
if you choose to go further, it is at your own risk. You've been warned, but on the other side, you may find a way to unleash your deepest desires. We can all only hope, right?
That seems like some straight up dark web red room bullshit.
Yeah, so I cut the book at that point, but there's 240-page book, and here's what they would talk about for a 14-year-old, and they rank it based on, like, you can read it. It's crazy.
Choose this age if you're specifically speaking young victims who can be controlled for a long time. 14-year-old identity. Victim reach, 3 stars. Receiving nudes, 3 stars. Success, 5 stars. Long-term victim, 4 stars.
Yeah, and they're doing that for a 14-year-old. They're saying that's the odds of all of them things happening. This is, yeah, so girl, if I can skip right to it.
Girl, here I am making another video.
It should be around.
I just saw her room though.
No, this is not it. Here's that girl right here.
What is this?
This is just a girl. She doesn't hurt herself, but listen to what they say.
Just please, no. Okay, well, listen to us, babe. Come on. We're trying to help you out. I just want to be left alone and leave the
I
service.
understand.
But it's not that simple.
Can I please
That sounds like a fucking demon, dude.
just do that?
You want to leave the server? I
Please
don't know
just
if
do that
Fiasco.
with-
I think she's got to work for it.
Yep, definitely.
What the fuck is that? Are you like dyslexic or something? Holy shit.
I'm looking in the camera to do it.
Dude, you're stupid. Hey, can you hear us? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm 27 years old, by the way, and I want your daughter to do stuff for me.
Okay, that's fine. I'll report you to the police.
Oh, I'm sure you will, fatty. Can you leave the room, though? I'm busy talking with your daughter. I just saw her tits, and she's like 16, I'm 27. Make her lift up her shirt.
You think it would end here, right?
Dude, what the fuck? Like, the confidence of knowing that he's not gonna get caught.
Watch what happens. The girl's back. The dad gives her the computer back.
What the fuck?
Yeah, watch. Watch.
They're gonna dox me.
See?
You wanna
He's
die.
back.
Do you want to die tonight? Do you?
That sounds like a black dude.
And he ends it with, "Do you want to die tonight?" But the dad gives that girl the access to the internet after he just saw and heard, not even her hurting herself,
What
but
the
them threatening
fuck?
her.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many. This is what I think is going on with people who let their kids play Roblox. It's like their kids, they know their kids are getting into bad shit, but the kid is terrible, screams and cries, throws shit, and is violent unless you give them the Roblox. And then, fine, take it. Take it. Just don't scream anymore. Leave me alone.
That's a bad parent, in my opinion. Yeah, this girl's just cutting her ponytail, but it's very sad.
Oh no, should we press send?
Fine. No. This much, okay?
Go. Start cutting. Chop, 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 chop.
It's fucking insane, dude.
Fucking safety scissors.
Yeah, they are really bad.
Keep going.
Please just leave me alone.
I'm glad it's blurred.
The extortion side of things. I want to just show you some, not as I don't want to show you videos of, what you're thinking, because it's too much. These are some of the cut signs.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That is the name of a person.
That is fucking deep cuts.
And that's the name of the group. That's another name of the group with, just pointless hate. This is very deep.
Holy shit.
And if you read this one, oh no, hold on, let me get you the first one so it makes sense. Right here. It's hard to read, but it says,
laughing as they called me names, reposted my videos and pictures. I stripped myself down. I don't recognize a single square inch of my body. It's all branded, cut up, and bruised. I hate them so much.
And then that's the name of the group that's cut into her stomach. That part of the groups. Here's some. They're called blood signs. Where they cut themselves and put the blood on the wall. And a lot of times it's satanic things, which I have one you can read.
You want to read it? I don't want to read the wrong names.
The username made me paint the walls of Eden with my blood, snuffed my humanity. Where is your God now?
Eden.
And it's a wall covered in their blood with satanic symbols that they drew onto the wall. Very, very graphic of they cut themselves deeply and write this into the walls. I sold my soul to the group name written on this wall with handprints of blood, upside down crosses, pentagrams. I sold my soul to that group name again. Completely different victim.
Do you want us to put these up?
I mean, you're welcome to take all of this.
I mean, has anybody done this? Is this...
There's some of this is, like, almost all of this is public. I wanted to make sure I wasn't putting anything illegal on your show.
Public where? Is this...
On different forums and stuff. Animal abuse. There's a girl holding up her cat, covered the head of the cat, but that's the guy's username. Very popular in this
very popular.
All of these cults, all these groups. And that's just a victim, but she literally murdered her cat.
He almost said
this is a guy, completely separate situation.
Basically, what these people are doing.
Victim. That's the cat, dead cat's body part, and they used its blood to write the group's name.
Oh.
There's some rough stuff, so get ready for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
What the fuck, man?
I don't even want to know what's going on there. I don't
This
even
is
want
on
to
a call
know.
with somebody random in the group.
So this dude, we can't put that up.
Obviously.
This dude just stomped on an old woman's head until she was dead. And then...
What the fuck?
Slit her throat.
Yep, just to prove to that group that he was worthy. Here's a suicide from somebody that was trying to do, his own version of anti-extortion. He wrote a suicide note, put himself online, puts up the note to prove himself, and that's his suicide note, and then he just ends it. And that's it for him. It's a guy that was, I guess, already knocked out. I don't know if he died or did not die, but these are all different individuals, by the way. Like the criminals.
Holy shit.
That's somebody... I took the video off of this because I didn't want you to have to see someone burning alive. But that's a homeless person fully engulfed in flames and murdered. And then him in the chat bragging about it.
Jeez, dude.
You're some
That,
sick,
and then the
depraved
last
fucking
one
people.
that I'll show you.
Is
Here's the
happening in Discord?
miscellaneous, which same username from earlier. Has me and my 2-year-old sister captive. He's a sick man. And then you see her with her child.
One day I will record it and I will fucking show everybody. I will show everybody. Haley, either I myself or I will kill you. I'm not fucking joking. This shit over an e-girl, Tori. Over an e-girl, over fake
That's definitely a black kid.
shit. I promise you.
You don't have to
Either I die
He kind of sounds like that Super Saiyan 3 kid.
or you fucking die and you watch me laugh.
You know, this is the villain. This is the opposite of the Super Saiyan 3 kid. What was it, Jalen?
Smile at you crying in pain. Stupid fucking bitch. You are worth nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
I promise you, Tori. You will be there to watch.
Okay, calm down. Okay. Bro, I
So
understand.
he's threatening her life. I mean, it's just a group chat full of people that are talking. We're almost done. Here's somebody right here who, if you read this one.
Little information about how I started this. I've always been a psychopath and
No
always
shit.
wanted to watch girls inflict pain upon themselves for me. My earliest cut sign I've ever got was a single K back in 2016. Over the years, I've stopped taking breaks, come back on new aliases, but I have a total of over 2,600 plus groomed victims. My goal is to reach 3,000 before I get feted.
So he don't even give a fuck. He's trying to get as much chaos done as possible before he gets taken down.
Welcome to my suicide chat. I'm trying to host my own virtual funeral. This is the guy who lit himself on fire in the hotel and had everybody there. There were, I think it was 30-something people watching. Here's to enter this group, you have to give either cut signs, deep cuts, blood signs, suicides, or bricking. You have to do arson, stabbings, or graffiti, and you need like these.
To get into this group, you have to off yourself. Excuse me, what?
Different amount of pieces
What
of
kind of sense
each
does
thing
that
to
make?
get into certain levels of these groups to prove that you are real. So that's part of what I was talking about with the crime proof. And then this is someone admitting to things.
I have little children cut themselves for me and do weird shit. And, like, I might have people, like, strangle themselves with a fucking cable or kill their pets.
As an
or just
adult.
do weird shit, and I record it. Or have other people record it. And then, like, I'm part of a cult, like a really bad people cult. But I'm also part of some other shit, too, just like lame shit.
Oh, who knows? With that guy, that was just a random piece of evidence. Here's Roblox, which I'll get more into after this. But you see, that's their logo right there. And then that's a shirt that says "I love CP," and it's
Yeah.
in the game itself.
Yep.
And then me not a victim.
Don't let your kids play. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this in this video. Don't let your kids play video. Well, don't let your kids play Roblox. Don't let your kids play video games online. Don't let them on social media. Don't let them on the internet.
Like all of these things that should be censored.
Oh, but my school requires my kid have an iPad. Fuck your school. What's more important, your kid's school or your kid?
By the game, not being censored. This, and this. Donate for CP. And the thing about Roblox is they're making 30% of every single sale that goes through their game. And I'll explain that more too once this is over.
Yeah, they're directly profiting off of these crazy satanic pedophile cult groups.
They're making money off of this. Why stop here? There isn't a drought of kids on Roblox. So this person's talking about how many kids there are, and this is a known group for these people. This is a username that if you put that into ChatGPT, I guarantee you it would know exactly what it means. But if there's no AI doing moderation on Roblox, that stuff gets by. which if the people can't see it, it's pedophile rapist. That's the username, but it's spelled wrong. This person saying, do you like play? Because if you did, I'd you. And this is unbelievable. So imagine a premium service for a free app. So Discord, the chat application, is a free application. It's like about $10 for their premium features. And all you get in their premium features is emojis, like different, little emojis, being able to color your profile with different colors and stuff, and maybe a larger file size limit to send. But that's all you get for Discord Nitro is what this is called. And this conversation says, I got a 2-week Nitro trial if you want one. Guy says, give. He says, yes. Guy says, will she cut for me? He says, yes, we'll cut on camera. He says, all right. Other guy says, if I tell her to. He says, can you tell her to? He said, Nitro first. He said, all right. So he traded a victim for $10 and the ability to send emojis in a chat application.
What do you think a 9-year-old will do for some Roblox? Robux.
That's how petty and ridiculous this is. Here's an 11-year-old victim they're selling for money.
Oh, man. What do you mean they're selling her?
Read it.
For sale. 11-year-old girl. She is very naughty girl, has been deflowered, yet still in ripe enough condition. No visible signs of abuse. Will listen when she is put under enough pressure. Make sure to give her enough attention and she'll never leave you. Price $1,200. Only accepting Monero payments.
Which is an untraceable cryptocurrency.
Yup.
So, but you see how she's got...
yeah, I refuse to trade any Monero. I don't even like Bitcoin. I mean, I'll take Bitcoin. I like the gold and the silver ones. What is it? The XAuT? I like that stuff.
The group name written here.
Yeah.
So she's not only being sold by people that are into children, adults, but she is being sold by these satanic scumbags that are doing that.
So is she a hostage, or is
it's hard to tell. That she may have been forced to take a photo like that, or she may actually be a hostage. Yeah, so I think that is all of that I have in this folder, at least. Is there anything that I didn't elaborate on there?
Well, I think we need to get these to my guys so we can put some of this, at least some of it.
Some of it. And I want to show
on
some of the robots.
camera. So, dude, what the fuck, man? So,
oh, and it gets much worse than that. That was just the stuff that got caught.
So, this is, oh man,
it's rough, man. I'm sorry you had to watch that. I just wanted you to understand how severe this actually is.
And these are little kids.
Little
These are
girls
little kids.
and boys.
So how? Okay.
Mostly girls.
So what are the most popular games that the 764 cult is luring their victims out of?
Roblox, Minecraft, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
Okay, tell me about Roblox.
Dude, Snapchat is such a fucking problem. That was a problem when I was a kid. How is it still a problem?
And Minecraft, because I don't know anything about gaming. I don't game. I don't.
Understood. I don't either, but it's part of the investigation. You gotta, you know, a lot of times I'm investigating.
I do know a lot about gaming, and I know it's been going on for a very long time.
I end up on these games or apps, and Roblox is the one that I'll focus on the most because that seems like the majority of the issues right now.
I know little kids that use that game.
There's 75 million active daily users. So it's the largest children's game in the world right now.
In the world, it's international. People all over the world, people in terrorist countries, people in depraved fucking third world countries are playing this game. Jeffrey Epstein was playing this game.
I've been telling people too about what you've been telling me for at least 6 months now about the 764 cult. None of their kids are off of it yet.
Yeah, most people just they throw their iPad at their kid. They put them on Roblox, and like I said earlier, little cartoon characters.
Oh, they're just having fun. They're not getting into any of that stuff. My kid's a perfect little angel. She's not going to go into any of that. But they don't understand how easily manipulated kids are.
Running around the screen, no harm in it. But something that most people see, like, you didn't seem to even know, but like they just banned a guy. There's like a young guy who was actually groomed and had issues for himself on
Everybody
Roblox.
knows that
He
guy.
has a popular YouTube channel. He started catching predators on Roblox, just regular old predators that are interested in children, not these guys.
Yeah, you were costing Roblox money. You can't be doing that.
And he got, to my knowledge, there could be more. There was 6 arrests. I saw 6 mugshots that came from this one guy. His name is Schlepp.
Yeah, and Roblox was like, well, you got to work with law enforcement. And he doesn't fucking matter, though.
And he went like mainstream on the media because Roblox sent him a cease and desist letter for being a vigilante on their platform. They did a press release saying that they're banning vigilantes from Roblox. Did a whole statement. You should see this press release. It's unbelievable that all their excuses of why they think vigilantes should not be a part of Roblox. There are a ton of predators. Is
this publicly available?
Yeah.
We'll post that up right now too.
Absolutely.
So this is the official statement from Roblox.
How about that?
Saying why vigilantes shouldn't be taking down pedophiles and set off of their platform. They want these people on there. They want these fucking people
We have been monitoring vigilante activity on Roblox for some time. What about the pedophiles?
On there.
That's essentially what it meant to me.
Your children, and your children are on here, and I'm fucking telling you, you better get them off.
Yep.
You better fucking get them off. It is going to happen to you.
Yes.
If you don't get them off, then these satanic pedophile freaks will, and it's not going to be in a good way.
These people, they're sitting predators. If you've noticed,
Dude, what the fuck? What fucking parent keeps their fucking kid on there after we're telling them this shit?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Retards. Fucking retards. I still know people who are on Roblox.
But it's unbelievable to me, and predators hang out in spots where they can prey on victims. That's why
and they
there's
don't
so
know.
many teachers. Why there's
the kids don't know that they're being preyed on, and the parents just don't think it's happening.
Many police officers, why there's so many parks that things happen at, or gym teachers, or people in positions of power where they have access to children. That's where predators end up, and then people are surprised by it. They wonder why. Like, why do you think these people took the job in the first place? Do you think that they weren't a predator, they weren't a pedophile prior to taking the job? Like, they've always been one. So when they're on Roblox, and it's the largest children's game in the world, obviously
it's the largest children's game in the world.
Yeah, largest in the world.
And it's getting bigger.
So when
largest children's game in the world doesn't want people on the platform saving fucking kids.
That's exactly right.
Are you fucking listening to this shit, people? The largest video game platform in the world doesn't want to take any fucking measures at all to save kids. In fact, they made a press release discouraging it.
Yes.
A cease and desist.
Cease and
Sorry,
desist
not a
and a press release. Both.
And you're fucking paying this platform money. There's millions of people that are going to listen to this, and I'm fucking telling you, you are complicit in this shit.
100%. And let me tell you some more, Sean. So Roblox, if parents have their kids playing on it, if you're familiar with Fortnite, there's a similar in-game currency called V-Bucks in Fortnite, and Roblox is called Robux, like R-O-B-U-X.
Mm-hmm.
So if you went to Target or Walmart or CVS,
I don't think Fortnite's even that big of an issue because it's so random. You're playing with your friends at school mostly, and like you're not really interacting with random people, and when you do, it's for a second.
Right now, we could go buy a Roblox gift card
and not saying it doesn't happen, because it definitely does on Fortnite.
kid can cash in the game and they get a Robux balance. So they'll get it for their birthday presents, or their parents will buy them these cards, which allows them to buy like outfits in the game or access to do fun things and in actual kids' games, right? Well, there's these public games where developers, like you and I could be a developer for Roblox by just signing up to be a developer, put out a game, Roblox will host the game, and then everything that's purchased by these children within game, in-game purchases,
Anything's allowed to go up as long as it doesn't get caught out. There's no like vetting beforehand. It just goes up.
they make 30% commission on.
And they make money.
So when they leave up a server that is talking about, you know, child, in that example, they use CP as the term. They and then there's other servers where they're blatantly wearing 764, you know, shirts as characters. They got upside down crosses. They got satanic symbols. They have people in the chat logs talking about grooming. They have all these things, but they're profiting directly off of this stuff. And
they love it.
You know,
because the people who run Roblox are satanic pedophiles themselves.
They don't have, to my knowledge, it's like it being the largest game in the world comes with some responsibility, you know, for kids. And I believe you should have a full team full of people that are familiar with child crimes working in your content moderation team. And if you don't, then you should be hiring these quote unquote vigilantes that you're kicking off the platform that are getting arrested on your platform. You should be hiring them because obviously they're making more of an impact than Roblox is, at least publicly.
Roblox doesn't want to make an impact. They want this shit happening.
Yes. I guess.
They want this shit happening.
It's hard to believe,
Otherwise, they wouldn't be sending fucking cease and desist letters to people who are trying to save kids.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, and actively going harder after people. They said it themselves. They're going after vigilantes, but they're not going after pedophiles, obviously.
I mean, let me just pull up the press
people
release.
are fucking supporting this shit.
I want you to hear
wild,
the title
man.
of this.
It's fucking wild.
The title of this
wild.
Thing, Roblox
I mean,
press release vigilantes. Like, this is not something I'm just coming up with off the top of my head. It's, let's see. I want you to hear the title of it. More on our removal of vigilantes from Roblox. And it goes into a very long press release that explains why they're removing vigilantes from their platform. Look at this. Why we remove vigilantes. The importance of accurate reporting. Help Roblox remove bad actors.
What happened after this?
So they lost, I think it was, I might be off by a little bit, but $13 billion in market cap, I believe, within 24 hours after releasing this and doing a cease and desist. The guy Schlepp went very public with the media. Chris Hansen partnered up with Schlepp to, like the YouTuber, to talk about this specific problem because it made no sense. That makes zero sense why they would want to get rid of vigilantes on their platform if they're not causing any harm other than just exposing the predators. And people, you know, a lot of people I'm sure took their kids off of Roblox, but it doesn't take away from the fact that there's 75 million daily users. And another thing outside of child predators, Roblox, I'll show you a picture with it, but before I show you the picture, there's a ton of Charlie Kirk There's a ton of Charlie Kirk assassination simulators.
Yeah, as soon as that happened, everybody was talking about it. Dude, I was seeing memes all over about the Roblox simulators. And leftists fucking loved it.
Roblox that are publicly facing that any child can join, that are very graphic. Some are photorealistic, some are cartoon, where they can play the role of the shooter. They can watch in the crowd as he you know, bleeds out. They can, you know, any child can join this, and I have photos of it so you can see.
This is on the most popular kids game in the fucking world.
Yes. So here's some screenshots of Roblox. If you join my Discord server, you'll see real CP. That's just one. Swat us, we dare you. You're based in your mother's basement, but look at that. That's
yep.
You know, there is another one. Yep. The Roblox in-game chat references Twist Sexual Fantasy 764 and the Age of Young Gamer.
I just want to point this out because I had to look this up. The ties to investment firms, Roblox. David Baszucki, that's the CEO, I think that's how you pronounce his name, CEO of Roblox, has significant ties to investment firms, both as an investor and through Roblox's funding history. He founded blah, 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 2002 as an individual, Clockwork Labs. He got a bunch of weird companies that I need to look into. As co-founder and CEO of Roblox, he oversaw multiple funding rounds involving major investment firms, Altos Ventures and First Round Capital. Heard of those? They're kind of evil. Meritech Capital Partners and Index Ventures, venture capital stuff. How about that? Greylock Partners and Tiger Global Management. I've heard of those. $150 million Series F round in 2018. Andreessen Horowitz led a $150 million Series G round in 2020. How about that? Andreessen Horowitz. Major institutional shareholders in Roblox include, drumroll please, Vanguard Group, FMR LLC, Fidelity, BlackRock, and Bailey Gifford, with Bashuki himself holding approximately 6.85% of shares as of late 2025. It's all the same fucking investment firms that are connected to the pedophile elites. How about that?
So if you look in there, join / that name, that's a very popular group for the comm.
So they don't even hide. They
No,
don't even hide.
Comm girl.
No, they're confident that nothing's gonna happen, and even if something does, they're suicidal. They don't give a fuck.
On cam / where the comm girl's at. Comm girl meaning like a girl.
They're
who's doing it.
telling you what they're gonna do before they do it.
Well, not all the time. Sometimes they lure them straight in here and they don't. In this case, they're straight up saying where to go watch it. And this is in game. Like in a children's game that should be blocking all of this. Kirk knew it was coming. Hi, Gabby. And you can see the photo of it happening on this character's shirt. There's a game you can literally go on the Roblox website.
Assassinate Charlie Kirk.
And just press the play button and just play it. And you see this.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you can use real V-Bucks to buy these t-shirts. Which, I'm not V-Bucks, I'm sorry, Robux. To buy these t-shirts. And, you know, that means Roblox is making 30% off every sale of that t-shirt.
So Roblox is making 30% off selling gamer, what do you call that? Like a skin?
A skin, yeah.
A gamer skin, like an outfit for your character to wear that is Charlie Kirk shot in the fucking neck, bleeding to death.
Yep.
Roblox makes money off this shit.
They make money off of all of this. The predatory behavior.
And parents are supporting this. That's fucking genius.
It's unbelievable.
Because they're too fucking lazy to watch their own kids. That's
Yes.
what this is.
They're too lazy to watch their own kids, and they think that it's not going to happen to them, and their kids are smart
All the things that I say. My kids are perfect.
enough to not fall into this trap. It's all these things. That is not the case. They're wrong. They're wrong, and I can tell you with absolute certainty. I do this every day. 6, almost 7 days a week of my life is dedicated to this topic, and I don't have a child. And when I do, I don't know how I'm going to act as a parent, but I could tell you for absolute sure, this is not going to happen in my house. It's not going to happen. My kids are not going to be part of these games. They're not going to be part of social media until a later age. I understand there'll be friends that are going to hand them the phone. I know they're going to break the rules, but I want and look, I can't speak on what I can't. I don't know. Maybe I have a kid that defies everything that I say, and I'll eat my words at that time. But right now, I can't understand why you would even let your child play the game. Why would you buy them Robux in the game? Why would you give them access to a computer if you see they're even playing it, knowing what you know right now? So not just Roblox, Minecraft too, any game where they're talking to strangers that is unrestricted, you should not let them play, especially at a very young age where they don't even know right from wrong. So that's, I could go.
I want to go back to the days when I was playing Modern Warfare 2 with my buddies, and there just randomly be some unk just end up getting in contact with us, and it'd usually be a dude that was in his 40s that was in the military, and he was injured, and he'd just, basically be our uncle. He'd be the old guy in our group that's giving us advice and shit, and it was awesome. I want to go back to those days, man, when shit like that happened more often.
I can keep going on a rant, but parents are going to make decisions for themselves. And the question that I'm going to get asked, and I get asked by everybody, is what can you do about it? Well, the answer is two things. I wish I had a better answer. It's either sign up for a monitoring software like Bark, because Bark is very good for what it does. It monitors for bullying, monitors for sexual type of activity, it monitors for suicidal ideations, all of those things. I have no
cool.
partnership in Bark. I just
that?
like their company.
Bark?
I think they do a great job. Custodio is another one that also monitors devices, but Bark is the one I know the most. They both, I'm sure, are great.
Custodio.
And the most important one is being aware of what this
I'm going to start pointing people in that direction.
stuff is. Do your research, watch the news, or Google search some of these terms on the news. 764 group, the COM, Roblox,
So I'm doing
predators
now.
on the internet.
And that's what my streams are going to be from going forward. That's what I'm going to do. My streams are for doing this kind of shit. I don't care if I get views on the streams. I'm doing the streams kind of just to keep me going, to keep me on a schedule to actually do this shit. And I have to do a little intermission because I got to piss. So I will return shortly. And we're going to go get into some even crazier shit. Oh no. It went black before I could get back. I noticed your chant, blah, 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 blah. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously, you're gonna get 2 of those in a fucking row? 2 in a row on Kick, saying the exact same thing from different channels, trying to get me to buy bots. And they're obviously fake. No thank you. Who's this Alabama John person? I don't know nothing about Alabama John. Maybe I have to pop over there when I'm not streaming. So let's figure out what I'm going to do next. I know a few things I'm going to do. I'm just going to look at clips. But it's crazy ass clips, man. Going back over to X again. Let me get my earbuds in. We already looked at the Dan Bongino thing. What is this? Oh, the video that might have sealed Charlie Kirk's fate.
That Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who was obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies, that there was something else going on.
Oh no.
Here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz-kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part.
Yep.
Epstein was a...
And even though he may or may not be gone, somebody's filling that part. Whether it be Epstein or somebody else, if Epstein's still alive, which I think he is.
Harper. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he
Yes.
played it really well. It's nothing new that if you're in the intel agencies, you want to try and get as much blackmail on powerful people as possible.
True.
Easy, not hard. And this is no longer just speculation. First of all, the evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence, that Epstein,
And
with his little friend...
it kind of turns out that pretty much what was going on. I can delete that one. What's this? XQC is shocked at how the Epstein case has been handled. I'm not. It's being handled exactly how I thought it was going to be handled. 6 million files. They have the government, FBI, all the money, and they have 1 in jail, allegedly, and 1 dead. Well, she's kind of in jail, but she's living her best life, you know? And everyone has to move on? That's crazy. Yeah, we're going to move on. Probably it's going to be 3-4 years down the line, and we're going to look back and be like, what the fuck happened?
Hundreds of people, thousands of people involved in at least a certain degree of wrong. 6 million.
Hundreds of thousands and maybe even millions of people are involved in satanic shit like this all over the world constantly.
Files total like 5 million, right? And all they have is 1 person in jail and 1 person dead. That's it. That's all that they have.
And this person might not even be dead. So it's like 1.5.
They have the power of the government, FBI, everybody else, all the fucking employees of the world, all the money. And they have 1 that's in jail, of course, allegedly, as far as we know. We don't know what kind of jail, I guess, but 1 dead, and everybody has to move on. That's crazy. I mean, I don't think anybody should
Welcome to my world.
I feel like the people should not accept this. Hundreds of people.
We're gonna accept it.
In at least a certain.
What other choice do we have? We don't have any real power. People like to pretend we have power all the time. Dude, Kick, get your shit together. You need to get rid of your fucking bots. Like I'm watching him on Kick right now, and I'm looking at my Kick chat, and I'm like, fuck you.
Degree of wrong. 6 million files.
What is this here? 13 families, the Vatican blood rights. Epstein wasn't the top, and he was just the mule. Yeah, no shit. People who are paying attention kind of know this.
Think Epstein was the scandal? That was the bait. Real architects sit on thrones, wear robes, and drink wine while feeding on children's souls in Vatican crypts. Look, let's name what they won't. The 13 bloodlines that run the world aren't who you think. Orsini, Aldo Brandini, Pallavicini, Medici, Breakspear, Farnese, Rothschild, Rockefeller, Warburg, Hanover, Lee, Bruce, Habsburg. These are not all.
I like literally, you can just look up who are the 10 families who run the entire world, and it'll pop up those names. Everybody knows who runs the world. Like, why is nobody, like, doing anything about it? You know?
They are Baalic parasitic bloodlines, ritual sorcerers who hijacked empires and installed mind control systems under the illusion
I think that's the only way that you can be that powerful at the top.
of religion, politics, and
World's
finance.
run by
Where's their
Satan.
origin point? Venice. The black Venetian nobility ran Babylonian blood cults under Catholic masks. They merged with the Vatican, embedded into the Jesuit
I've been
priesthood,
hearing
and
it. I've been hearing about it.
global slavery
Long
through
time.
maritime law, trapping you in birth certificates, taxes, and silent contracts with no consent. Venice wasn't a city of romance. It's a sacrificial basin. Why do you think the Pope wears a fish hat? That's not Christian. That's Dagon, a Nephilim water demon.
I don't know
Look,
about
Epstein
that.
wasn't a financier. He was a human trafficker for the priest class. He ran blackmail rituals for the elite, orgies timed to celestial gates, using children
I think with stuff like the Vatican, I think it's just only natural for evil people to try and gravitate toward it. And they end up getting in there. And you let it fester for too long, you don't do something about getting rid of it, then it takes over. Because that's just how it be. That's what it do.
Programmed through MK Ultra satellite nodes. Who funded him? Rothschild-backed banks. He admitted this. Mossad and CIA intelligence
We all know
mergers.
this.
Chabad Lubavitch financiers masked as philanthropists. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell still alive? Because her father, Robert Maxwell, was a triple agent field operator for the Vatican Chabad MI6 Axis. Epstein's Island's temple is a mirror replica of Baal's altars in ancient Tyre. Literally, the owl statues, not for aesthetics, they're invitation gates for entities. Comment, scroll, and I'll send you the full decoded map.
You want to know something about that Epstein Island there? That's not the real deal. That's just a party place. That's just a party island. That's not where the real stuff was going down. The real stuff was going down at just like random events all over the world, like at the White House.
Families, cults, islands, bloodlines, oaths, nothing hidden, everything unveiled. Think about it. Why do the Masons care more about rituals than politics? Because politics was just a front. The true power is ritualized trauma. Here's exactly how they move. Jesuits equal infiltration and education. They wrote your textbook, scripted your news, and flipped your morals through semantic inversion. Freemasons equal gatekeeping plus maintenance grid. Lodges are ritual fields, not clubs. The checkerboard floor, it's a
Dude, I've known about the Freemasons since I was a teenager. Nobody knows about the Freemasons. I don't know why. Like, there's documentaries and shit everywhere about Freemasons. Nobody, like, people used to talk about them all the time. People don't talk about them anymore. They didn't just go away.
Dimensional binding grid. Chabad Lubavitch equals economic controllers of AI, neuroscience, and cloning. They bankroll the puppet governments, own biometric patents, and sit on quantum computing boards. All three serve the Black Sun priesthood. Shadow Vatican that answers to no government, no court, no god you were taught about. They install presidents, they run wars for soul harvest, and they script pandemics not just for population control, but for ritual sacrifice and initiation of mass trauma loops. Look, everything you were
lulz.
taught was a ritual veil. They fed on your doubt. They survived by your silence.
They think it's
You're the
funny.
anomaly.
Yeah, they think it's funny. I've seen the evidence that they just think it's hilarious. But also, if you look at like 764, it's the same thing on the lower scale, on the lower level, that they just think it's funny, you know? It's a power play. It's a power move. Why the fuck is this still fucking clogged? All right, you're gonna have to give me a second here because this shit is not coming unclogged. I don't know why. Maybe I packed it too tight, but I don't think so. I thought I packed it about normal. All right, I'm gonna have to use my nail. Get out of there. I gotta move on with the show, man. This is part of the show, too. This is what you're in for when you're here at the Folly Town. You never know. You might get something crazy. You might get nothing. That's just how it goes. No, it's still clogged. No, my nail. I'm gonna step on that later. I'm gonna have to get that. Where'd you go, nail? Nail. Nail. I'll kick your ass. Oh, fuck. I ain't got time for this shit, man. I don't see it nowhere. That shit rolled away. It rolled away. I don't know what else to say. That shit was gay. Okay. Enough of the rhymes. I see what the problem is here. I need the nail. Damn it. Do I have another one? Aha! I keep nails everywhere. Never know when you need a nail. Ah. There we go. That's a lot better. All right, put that mouthpiece back on. Reload. Glad I didn't try and use that match yet. I ain't gonna pack it all the way. Okay, let's get her going. I ran out of lighter. So I have to use matches. Here we go. All right, what's next? Not that one. Okay, there's one. See, this is what I've been saying. It's not just like one cabal. There's a whole bunch of them. There's a bunch of different people that are in different groups. They all shake hands, though.
Jerusalem is ruled and trodden down by Gentiles at this moment. Therefore, the men who rule the world are Gentiles. They have been Gentiles since 70 AD, and it is Gentiles today, and I maintain these Gentiles are white. They are wicked, white, Japhetic Gentiles who rule the world.
You want to know my take on it? You're kind of right, wrong. It's satanic pedophiles. That's it. Every group of people that run the world, all of the different ones that are just shaking hands that aren't really the same group, they're all satanic pedophiles. The Bible says that's true, and if you look into it, it seems to be fucking true.
World, and thus they presently rule Jerusalem. The Jews do not rule Jerusalem. They do not rule the world. The Jews in power are subject to the Pope and his white Gentile power structure that rules the world.
I don't know who the fuck this guy is talking.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, now that we have that major plank taken care of, we'll see that the white Gentiles that rule the world are, first and foremost, the high-level Jesuits, the Black Pope, and thus his 2% of the professed Jesuits of the Fourth Vow under extreme oath. They rule the world. These Jesuits then rule the entire society, the Company of Jesus, and these high Jesuits also rule international Illuminized Freemasonry.
Yeah, the Freemason stuff. Yeah, I get that. Okay, you're gonna have to show me some stuff though. You can't just say it.
Because Freemasonry was united and Illuminized after the Council of Wilhelmsbad in 1782 and after the French Revolution, Napoleonic Wars. So that ultimately by the end of the 19th century, all of Freemasonry is Illuminized, all the top Masonic leaders are controlled by the Jesuits, and therefore the Jesuits bring about their design for world government under a pope of their making.
Yeah, okay, using Christianity. I think it's all of the above.
Through their international warhorse, which is Scottish Rite, Illuminized Freemasonry, as well as Grand Orient, York Rite, and all the other subordinate Freemasonry.
I think he's on something with the Freemasonry stuff. And they do use Christ, but they don't just use Christ, they use all gods, because you just have to believe in a god, a higher power of some sort to be a Freemason.
So this is how they rule. The white Gentiles ruling the Jesuit order controls the International Scottish Rite Freemasonry, all Illuminati.
But this is a Christian country, you see. It's a Christian country, so they got to use Christianity to try and manipulate people.
Nice Freemasonry, as well as all the other secret societies, including Opus Dei, Skull and Bones, Knights of Pythias, Knights of Columbus. These are all subordinate societies to the Jesuit order through their control of Illuminized Freemasonry.
Who drew this? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I'm gonna need some more info on that. What is this? Oh, there's more. Yeah, okay. Well, that was crazy. Didn't really tell me anything. This one might, though. It'll load. Come on now.
There are only 6 types of people who make the modern world run. Number 1, the pawns, the masses. They follow orders, they are predictable. They get sacrificed each game. Number 2, the rook. These are the 20% of people who do 80% of the work. But they get stuck when the routines change, and they are useless on their own. They need number 3, the knight. Nobody can predict their path, their creativity. They connect dots no one else connect.
Eh? Eh?
Branson, John McAfee, Kanye.
Number 4, the bishop. The bishop will protect you, and he is a quiet planner. Edward Snowden, Jan Tseng-wan, Masayoshi Son.
Number 5.
Definitely not one of those guys.
Everyone is afraid of the queen. Those
That's me.
who run
I'm the
the
queen.
Suki agencies, those who run the military.
But the queen's fake, though.
The rules and laws of the pawns, knights, and bishops don't apply to them.
So who are the kings of this world in Bruja?
The families that cannot be named. They have trillions, but don't show up in the Forbes list. Money does not matter to them because they print it. Everyone is playing chess, but they are the ones who provide the board. They decide how many fields the board has and how long the game will be played.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically how it goes, man. Epstein's bosses, the Rothschild, run Western civilization. Definitely a portion of it. Wait, what is this? Certainly not in Saudi. Just think I will avoid the Middle East for the next decade or so. Should be back on East Coast in late April, May, sometime in NYC or on island. Then, oh, that was the reply. As you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds. To Peter Thiel, Jeffrey Epstein. I was hoping to figure out a way for the bank that has 160 billion in MGMT can do something in tech. MGMT. Okay. Best client list in the world. Prehistoric products. It can wait. Good luck in China. I'll be in Europe again 2028. Then island. So if you want to come around the world going west, come to the island. Or if you'd like to meet me in Saudi at the end of the month. This dude was going to Saudi Arabia quite a bit. You know who else likes Saudi Arabia?
Any depiction of CSAM or child pornography was obviously excluded. Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And
But who
finally,
are they?
anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury, also not produced. Any depiction of CSAM or child pornography was obviously excluded. Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And finally,
Anything going to come out of it? No word of it except for Trump saying that we need to move on from this because there's nothing. And he's tired of it. And I'm like, now that he's exonerated, now that it's come out that there's nothing about him, he's like, okay, don't look into it anymore, just in case you do end up finding the stuff out about me. What is this here? Collapse economies and rule. The information contained in this communication is confidential. May be attorney-client privileged, may constitute inside information, and is intended only for the use of the addressee. It is a property of Jeffrey Epstein. Please note, the information contained in this communication is confidential, may be attorney-client privileged, may constitute inside information. Okay, I don't care about none of that. Brexit, just the beginning. Whoa, just right out the gate, huh? June 26, 2016. Okay. Return to tribalism, counter to globalization. Amazing new alliances. I went over this already. You and I both agreed zero interest rates were too high. And as I said in your office, finding things on their way to collapse was much easier than finding the next bargain. Oh, there's more. All consumers digitized, evaluated, they get points for certain behaviors. This is the next 10-year plan. They say if you want our 500 million people buying X, we want Y. And if XI says no Microsoft products, G, okay, it says G, says no Microsoft products, it's not like Donald asking people not to buy Toyotas. In China, the next day, no Microsoft products sell. Genius. What? Total control, total control. G has moved the party above government. Lots of tentacles. They used to be side by side. G has moved the party. Okay, take control, total control. It's what we have going for us. They were trying to do total control. What the fuck? Working with China, it looks like? Or maybe taking out China. Through iMessage, apparently. Jeffrey sold to Peter Mandelson, a member of the House of Lords in England, on 18th February 2011, a week after Mubarak's fall. Do you want to be part of the Egyptian election campaign? What? You didn't call. Would you like to be part of the Egyptian election campaign? Holy fucking shit, dude. They were like actually manipulating governments. This actually was like a worldwide cabal that was trying to run the world. They didn't quite get there. And what is this? Oh, yeah. Sanders, yeah.
That's really bad in South Carolina. Can I also ask you what you thought of the president and how he responded to our questions today about Jeffrey Epstein and what the survivors have said about the release and it being insufficient in their eyes?
These survivors have gone through hell. Their lives have been traumatized to a horrible degree. And they need to... all of the information that is possible should be coming out for their sake, for the sake of the American people. But I would
not just that. Somebody needs to actually fucking do something.
Tell you this, Caitlin. I think the reason this Epstein...
Right there, yeah. They make it be known. CNN is going to absolutely fucking cook Trump. And that's embarrassing as fuck if CNN's going to cook Trump. If he doesn't get his shit together. He needs to go hard.
Has gotten so much interest from conservatives, progressives, everybody else. Is there an understanding? It really is quite extraordinary. Above and beyond the ugly sexual stuff and all that stuff, above and beyond that, there is a growing sense that you have a small number of elite, of very, very rich people who hang out with each other, who really see themselves as above the law. Their world is not my world, it's not your world, it's not all.
He says there's a growing sense of it, that people are sensing this happening. He's not saying that it is happening. By the way, it is happening. I would, these fucking, you see how they do. You see how they do. And then we're going to move on from it. And then they're going to pretend that nothing ever happened.
Ordinary people's
We're just going to move on. We got our own problems today to deal with.
And I worry that what you're seeing now in our country today is you got oligarchs with incredible money. They also live in a different world. And I think that is why the American people are responding, so strongly. They go through a...
You ever seen Altered Carbon? It's kind of like that. It's like the people who are immortal. They live in a completely different world than the people on the ground who have finite lives.
Red light, they get stopped, they get fined. These guys do terrible things. That's okay. You're rich and you're powerful.
Senator Bernie Sanders, always appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us here.
Yeah, I bet you fucking do. What's this? Oh, boy. Yeah. DuPont heir dodged prison for 3-year-old daughter after judge ruled he would not fare well behind bars. I remember hearing about this story, but I never really looked into it. A DuPont family heir who pleaded guilty nearly 6 years ago to his 3-year-old daughter was never put behind bars because a Delaware judge ruled he would not fare well in prison, court records show. Robert H. Richards IV, scion of the family who built the chemical empire and kin to the co-founders of a prestigious law firm, Richards, Layton, and Finger, was given 8 years probation and was ordered to seek treatment after being convicted of 4th degree in 2008, the records show. Officials managed to keep the case away from the public spotlight until this month, when his ex-wife Tracy Richards filed a lawsuit seeking compensatory... Why you gotta use words like that? I know what that word is, but it's hard to pronounce. Punitive damages for abusing their daughter and son, the News Journal reported. Richards, 47, whose great-grandfather is DuPont family patriarch Irene DuPont, has never been criminally charged for crimes against his son. Okay. The recently filed litigation claims that the father, who lives in a $1.8 million mansion near Winterthur Museum, his daughter, now 11, dude, it just, holy shit, it just keeps going. Several times beginning in 2005, according to the newspaper. 2 years later, when the girl was 5 years old, she told her grandmother, Donna Berg, that she was being by Richards, court documents show. The little girl said her father told her it was our little secret, but said she didn't want the man touching her anymore, according to the court docs. That's fucked up, man. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Tracy Richards, after Berg told her of the sickening abuse, confronted her then husband and had him arrested for the child. Richards used his family's wealth and position in the community to hire an expensive defense team and denied the charges, according to the lawsuit obtained by the News Journal. But after failing a polygraph test, wow, how do you fail a fucking polygraph test? He admitted to abusing the little girl. That's how it works. If he would have just failed and not admitted to it, then it doesn't hold up in court. What a moron. But I'm glad he was. Fuck this guy. But holy shit, this story is just insane all around. Richards allegedly told investigators he was ill and that he needed medical treatment, the lawsuit said. Richards pleaded guilty in 2008 to 4th degree, a deal that helped him dodge any jail time. Superior Judge Jan Jordan sentenced Richards to 8 years in prison, but suspended the time for probation that requires monthly visits with a case officer. What the fuck, dude? Who is this? Superior Judge Jan Jordan. Let's check that person out real quick. See what Brave has to pull up. The Honorable President of the Judge of the Delaware Superior Court, becoming the first woman to... Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus Christ. First woman to hold that position when she was elevated in January 2015. She was originally appointed to the Superior Court in May 2001 by Governor Ruth Ann Minner and retired from the bench. And so she was there until just last year. after 23 years of service. Holy shit, dude. This is why we're cooked. We got people like this in the government, running the government. Oh, I didn't realize that I was covering this. Anyway, during her tenure, Jordan launched the mental health court in 2008. Of course she fucking did. Of course she fucking did. The mental health. You obviously weren't worried about the mental health of a child. The first program of its kind in Delaware, and presided over the Veterans Treatment Court. She also oversaw the conflict attorney program. What the fuck, dude? And served on the complex commercial litigation division. A U.S. Army veteran, she served from 1979 to 1982, leaving with an honorable discharge as a sergeant. Received numerous honors, including induction into the Delaware Women's Hall of Fame. That sounds like fake. And the Delaware State Bar Association's Outstanding Service to the Courts and Bar Award in 2011. In 2022, she received the Honorable Ada Wasserstein Award for Professional Excellence. Okay. What about the, what was it? Oh, the DuPont situation. I want to know a little bit more about that. 2009, blah, 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 blah. Jordan sentenced Robert H. Richards IV, a great-grandson of DuPont patriarch Irene DuPont, to probation after he... Okay. Okay. Was there any backlash? Yes, there was significant backlash following Judge Jan Jordan's 2009 decision to sentence DuPont. Okay. Online petition calling for Jordan to be removed from the bench. Yeah. Received. Yeah. Okay. Well, you shouldn't be doing that to anybody, no matter what. Public outrage focused on her written note that Richards would not fare well in prison, which critics interpreted as leniency due to his wealth and family status. That's 1,000%, 1,000,000% what that was. Media coverage, including a CNN opinion piece and reports by the News Journal, amplified criticism with accusations that the justice system favored the wealthy. No shit. However, legal allies, including then Attorney General Beau Biden, what the fuck? However, legal allies, including then Attorney General Beau Biden, defended the sentence, citing a weak case and the importance of securing a felony conviction and treatment mandate. What the fuck? So, Beau Biden was involved in this. What did I just fucking come across? Okay. Later revelations showed the "not farewell" phrase originated from Richard's defense attorney, not Jordan herself, and was noted in a section for mitigating factors. Despite the controversy, Jordan was confirmed as president judge of the Delaware Superior Court in 2014. How about that? How about that? Just fucked up all around. Defendant will not fare well in level 5 setting, Jordan wrote in her sentencing order. In Delaware's correctional system, level 5 is prison. Brendan J. O'Neill, a Delaware public defender, told the Detroit Free Press that the ruling may prompt the public to be skeptical of how a person with great wealth may be treated by the system. But he defended the judge's decision, saying sometimes people need help more than they deserve to be punished. Excuse me, what? That is the most insane thing that I've ever heard when it comes to pedophilia. Well, not really. But like, holy shit, man. These fucking pedophile elites, they gotta go. Every single one of them, they're all the same. They're all the same. And it runs so deep. And it's just so funny that Beau Biden was connected to this. It's an extremely rare circumstance that prison serves the inmate well, he told the paper. Prison is to punish, to segregate the offender from society. Yeah, that's what it's for. Yes. And the notion that prison serves people well hasn't proven to be true in most circumstances. Dude, he should be put under the fucking prison. I think this should be, he 1,000% did it. Capital punishment. He admitted to it. But now Richard's ex-wife is seeking justice by suing him for assault, negligence, and negligent infliction of emotional distress on his 2 children. The lawsuit claims that while taking another lie detector test in 2010, Richards allegedly told the examiner he began to blah, 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 abuse his son in 2005 when the boy was 19 months old. That's fucking insane. The father allegedly confessed that he was very concerned something happened with his son, but that he was repressed the memories, according to the lawsuit. Saying the abuse was similar to what happened with his daughter, Richards allegedly promised that whatever I did to my son, I will never do it again. Oh, yeah? An attorney for the convicted pedophile's ex-wife said that lawsuit is the first step in seeking justice. This self-confessed admitted and didn't go to jail, and in fact, he stays in luxury where he's always been, said the lawyer, Thomas C. Crumpler. Yep. How about that? It's all over the place, man. Can't get away from it. Let's see. What was his name? Robert H. Richards IV. Let's see what happened to this guy. Was that the right one? Robert H. Richards IV is a convicted blah 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 and a great grandson. Okay. Did anything else happen? I bet more stuff happened. Public and legal controversy. Where is he now? Let's see that. As of 2026, Robert H. Richards IV is believed to be living in Delaware, maintaining a low profile since completing his 8-year probation in January 2017. According to the Delaware Sex Offender Registry, he resides in a multi-bedroom house in Hockenson, a suburb of Wilmington. He also owns properties in Greenville and North Shores, Delaware. How? Why? What? Since the conclusion of his probation and the 2014 civil lawsuit settlement, there have been no public updates on his activities. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's where I'm going to end the stream. It's been a good, crazy fucking night. Has it not? I got more crazy shit for tomorrow, but I've got a whole thing that I'm going to do. It's going to probably take like 2 hours, and I don't have time to do that tonight. I thought I was going to have time, but I got into this whole situation and completely sidetracked me. So I will see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central. Be doing the same shit, bruh. I might even play a game tomorrow at the beginning. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe. Because I like playing games. I'll play No Man's Sky or something. Maybe I'll play No Man's Sky while I'm doing commentary reaction videos. You should definitely join the Discord. I got it linked down there in the description. You should become a member because I've got some stuff coming out that's not just reaction content. It's real content. Like, I'm working on a whole world. I'm working on lore for stuff for, like, video games, books, movies, comic books, whatever you can think of, man. And I'm going to set it free that anybody can make stuff. And then I'll pick and choose, I guess, what I decide to actually be canon. I will see y'all